What's up, everyone? As you can see, we're continuing to build the Lego AT-AT. We are starting, I believe, bag 4. I think we built the first 3 bags last time. So let me get to where I was at in the manual here. So it's making good progress. We're, of course, building the center part of the build here. I think, man, we've get far here in this manual. I guess maybe this stream and maybe 2 more after that, and then I guess I'll be done. Maybe just 1 more after this. I don't know. Yeah, I'm trying to find. I believe it's bag 4. We should be starting. I don't know which one after that would be. I think I went too far. Yeah. I believe we are on bag. Okay, I've gone too far in the manual now. Gosh almighty, where am I supposed to be at? Here we go. We're bag 4. Yes. So let's go ahead. I went ahead and put some of the figures back here and some of the smaller stuff that we've already built, figures and things like that. So let's get bag 4 out. I have them all over here. Bag 4. Let me go ahead and advertise it. Well, let me put some music on and then we'll advertise the stream real quick on my other platforms that I'm on. Yeah. I think this is better. So go ahead and let people know I'm streaming. I'm streaming a little early tonight. I do understand that. All right. I want to wait for some people to get in. We got 1 person in, and then I'll start building. I guess I can go ahead and take the pieces out of the bag 4. So we're starting today. This one may not take as long. There's a lot of bigger pieces in here. And then, of course, when I'm done building the whole thing, I'll find a place to put it on my shelf. That way you can see it in my other streams. But my goal with this is to build the whole thing on camera. That's my goal. So, I hope is there any more figures? I don't think we're building more figures in this bag. Because I know there are more figures to build. There's like 3 or 4 more figures left. I think an officer and 2 pilots. I'm not sure. Whoa. That's not good. piece just rolled under here. And I may need it later. Whatever. I'll get it later. There's no one in string yet. Weird. Ethan's here. What's up? I'm looking for a piece that I dropped. I think this is it. I didn't drop it, but it rolled under. Okay, there's one person here, so we can start building. Let's get it. How's everyone's night been going? I say everyone, but there's only two people in the stream, or one person in the stream. Let me know if the music is too loud. I'll turn it down if need be. This is not what it asked. Need to pay attention more. Yeah, that'll work. So put one of these pieces here. And then take the other one and throw it over here. Okay. Then we got to do the same thing but first. Looks like. Where's the other? Here it is. Another person's joined. Can you guys really even see what I'm doing? Probably not. What's up, Marcel? How are you? Light greetings. I believe I prefer dark. Dark greetings. Man, I hate techno building, or building with techno. And I hear my cat outside. I don't really care though. Is that okay? It goes in the one above it. Here for a bit before I have to go out with some friends. Oh, nice. I love cats. Yeah, my cat is, she's sweet, but she's mean. Just kidding, she's not mean. She can be, though. 699. So can I, though. And, look at my Twitter. I'm very mean in there. I think a piece just dropped again. Come on. Let's see what fell. I felt something fall down. Okay, there it is. There we go. Bam. So other one I've been going. Oh. Good, bad, ugly. Mine's been going good. I watched Rogue One for the millionth time. Again, I actually haven't watched it in a while. I know it's pretty out of character of me to be watching a new canon movie, but whatever. I was bored. And I watched a new canon movie. What's wrong with me? I'm hoping some more people will join. I put it too low? Oh no, I just have to raise it up. Pretty good, man. Busy few days at work, but I took Friday off. It's a Canadian Thanksgiving this weekend, so 4-day weekend. Nice, man. I have a 4-day weekend too. Not because it's Canadian Thanksgiving, but because we're Americans. We don't like school. So I got that to look forward to. Canadian Thanksgiving, what does that celebrate? Did y'all eat with some pilgrims too or something? Or Native Americans? Or whatever the story goes these days, I don't know. Come on. Man, not liking school is universal. Yeah, well. We dislike it to a degree where we take days off all the time. And we love it. It's awesome. Or maybe that is, something that other countries do. I don't know. Frankly, don't care, I live in America, Kaye. America sucks, bro. Just kidding. The nation don't suck. It's just run by a bunch of morons. So, which I guess you can interpret that as America sucking. Let's see here. Where is that piece? Where is that piece? It's a techno piece, which is why I hate it. I don't know where it's at. I'm sure I'm looking straight at it, but I'm just dumb. And if it was a snake, it would have bit me by now. World Sucks Show. It's the same as yours. Same thing with Power. This month early for some reason. World Sucks Show. Yeah, I know. Hey, what's up, Iron? Currently looking for a piece that I'm sure I'm looking straight at. Or it probably fell on the floor or something, and I just didn't know it. But I think I might know where it is. Is it in under there? Because there was a piece that had rolled somewhere. I don't know. I'm missing a piece, guys. Probably again. I know I'm not. And usually, if I'm missing a piece, it's in the bag somewhere. That's something I've also noticed with myself. That's a cool looking piece. Again, I'm not that too anxious about finding it because I know it's around here somewhere. Oh, here it is. See? Told you I'm dumb. It was right in front of me. Looking for another piece now. And I'm bad at this. Bad at building. Where is it? This one's red, so it should be a lot easier to find. Should be the keyword. Is it under here? I can't even see it. I don't know. I hate looking for pieces. I'm sure y'all laughing your asses off right now. I don't blame you. I would be too. Is that it down there? I just found it. It's on my floor. Oh, gosh. See, I told you guys I suck at this. That's what I get for not building a Lego set forever. Finally, some bricks, man. Somewhat. I built 2 of these. This thing is sturdy, like really sturdy. Why isn't that coming in? It's weird. I'm going to put the link in the chat for anyone who wants to join. Because I'm getting bored here just doing this by myself. So anyone who wants to join can join. Okay, this is kind of strange. I'm gonna make sure these are equal. They don't look equal, this one. I'm sure they actually are. My eyes are just screwing around with me. Oops. Again, anyone is welcome to join, as long as I know you, and if I know you, I'll let you in. So y'all are welcome. I put the link in the chat if anyone is interested. I know already almost finished with this bag. I haven't been live for 30 minutes yet. Pretty cool though. I may be able to do another bag tonight. I do have time. What's up, Sloth? How are you? Finally, somebody else joined. You're welcome on stream if you'd like. I don't know if you can see the link since you just joined. But I'm continuing building here. As you can see, it's starting to take some shape there. You can kind of see that. It looks more like an AT walker. We are all familiar with. But it's looking good, looking good. Slav is here.
How's it going?
What's up? Oh, devices not connected. Whoops. That's weird. I'm sure why that happened. Try disconnecting and reconnecting. Like X out of StreamYard or X out of StreamYard, and then come back. Let me know if I have to resend the link. And I will do that. Welcome back, Slav.
Hey, can you hear me all right?
I do. I can.
Good, good. Yeah, sorry, my mic got unplugged. I was trying to move it forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How have you been?
I've been okay. Let's see, you're building the newest ATT or AT-AT, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's the 2021 or 2021 set that came out. I used to be a big fan of Lego, so I occasionally keep up with the sets. It's just Lego's so expensive now.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's an expensive hobby to have. It's a cool hobby. But it's definitely expensive.
Yeah, I got more into Lego than I did the actual action figures.
Yeah, me too. I never got into action figures.
Yeah, that's a whole nother market that's gone up in price. I was checking. Jaina Solo, they made an action figure of her.
They did, yeah, and it's super expensive.
It's huge, in expense wise.
Yeah. Well, I wish I could have it, but I should create an Amazon wish list and put it on there.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, look, you'll eventually probably get a job to where you can save up for it.
That's true. I mean, I can't save up for it now. I have a job. It's just I'm saving up for more important things like a car or things like that.
Oh, yeah, get a car, man. Get a car first.
Yeah, then I'll worry about Jaina Solo figures.
Mm-hmm. All my money's been going towards getting EU books right now. I've mainly just been getting hardbacks, and that's breaking my savings. But
lucky you.
It's a
I mean, I've spent like a little bit of money on ebooks, but not a whole lot.
It's mainly I've just been trying to get up all the expensive stuff because after you have the expensive stuff, it's just most EU books really aren't that expensive. They're just kind of like $4 to $5 after you
Yeah.
get the most expensive stuff. But the comics, dear lord, the comics is where you really start getting into money,
Yeah.
which is sad because it's. I feel like the novels are a little bit more important when it comes to the actual story of the EU. I can only name maybe like a handful of comics where I could say, okay, that's kind of essential, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
It's
how's
starting.
school? Huh?
How's school? It's pretty boring.
Yeah, I remember when I was
But
in school.
it's school. Not much I can say about it.
You planning on going to college?
With what money?
Oh, okay, good point.
Nah. Yeah, I'm just trying. I want to, of course, but
Go to community college, my friend. It's much cheaper. Your student debt won't be so big.
that's true.
Because the diploma is just a diploma. Once people see that you have that, that's really all they care about.
Yeah. I'm starting to finish up here on this bag. It's starting to look real good.
Yeah.
I haven't built a Lego set in so long. I missed it. It used to be my biggest hobby, but then, money.
Yeah. Me and my dad shared that.
Yeah.
When I was really, really little, he would build the sets and I would just play with the minifigs.
There you go. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah. So, you may have gotten into this with the OG Star Wars with her. I unfortunately I couldn't watch the whole live stream. But what got you into the EU? I'm just curious.
An Instagram post about the Yuzhan Vong. I'm serious.
Really?
Really. And then I started asking in the comments, hey, how can you read about these guys? Well, actually, no, I asked, this is really, I don't like the way this is put together, but anyway. I asked, see, look how crappy that is. Why is the design like that? It's like a plate, and it's just connected to just a 1x2 here. That's not good.
That's not very durable.
It doesn't even fit that well. Maybe I built it wrong. How about that? I probably just built it wrong. No, I didn't.
Well, when you keep building onto it,
I just didn't put it on there right.
Ah, there you go.
So let's put it over it. That's weird. Anyway, so I started asking around, what are the books that take place in between the NJO and Return of the Jedi? And someone said Tears of Korra, that I should read that first. I did not build this right. What is wrong with me?
Oh, you're streaming, dude. Don't get too mad at yourself.
I built this completely wrong. Where's that black plate at? I need a black plate. I need to put these right here. Then there's a black plate that goes under this, and I don't know where it's at. I don't have it on my table. That means it fell on the ground somewhere. Lord. I need a black plate. And I can't find it. Well, like earlier in the stream, there was like a couple pieces that rolled under here. I don't see it.
Oh, I know that pain.
I don't know where it went. Because I'm basically replicating. Wait, what am I doing? No, I did build this right. Oh my gosh. This is a completely different freaking part. But it looks so similar to that one. No, I did build that right. I'm just stupid.
Lego now has a new thing where you can they have the instructions online. That barcode on the front of the instruction manual, you can just scan it and you can just look at it digitally. I found that helps me when I build more modern sets.
No, I don't think it's a manual. I just think I'm dumb.
Okay.
No, I built this right. I'm just stupid and thought I was missing a piece, but I'm not. There we go. That bag is completed. I have like a cup here. It has a whole bunch of minifigs and all kinds of stuff. I don't know why, but it does. I'm putting all my extra pieces in there.
Yeah. Hold on to those minifigs, man. Those things are going to be really expensive in a few years.
I have like a Nightwing. I have a man bat in here. I have a.
Hey, Titus. Hey, Maxine. Oh, yeah, they've definitely been cutting corners. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that.
No, that's cool.
All right, bag 5. Been streaming for 40 minutes.
It's looking good so far.
It looks really good. That'll be the back, the butthole in, and then that'll be the head will be here.
The General Veers come with it?
He does. He does come with it.
Nice.
I don't know. He's in this bag, which is bag 8. That's the last bag. So we'll go through later. Okay. This one doesn't look as what is it? Techno? What is like the Lego Tech, whatever it's called?
It's yeah. It's a Technic. It's their Technic side. Yeah.
I don't like the Technic side. I hate it.
Me neither. I prefer the blocks.
Oh, that Lego set is looking good so far.
Looking awesome. Okay, let's continue.
Iron Inquisitor, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, just chilling.
So, Zach. That's it. It's Lance. I said Zach, sorry. Remind me of somebody else. Lance, so you said you're 17, right?
I'm 18 now.
You're 18? Oh, well, yeah, happy birthday.
Yeah.
So, were you old enough to remember the Clone Wars coming out, like the 3D, or yeah, the 3D one?
No.
You weren't? Okay.
I was just like 4 when that came out.
Okay.
That shows you how young I am.
I was just at that perfect age when that came out. In fact, the movie that came out, I think a few months before the actual show did, that was the first Star Wars movie I ever saw in theaters.
Oh, same here. It's weird.
Yeah, and here's the thing. As much as I love the actual show, I think that movie's just terrible.
Because what they did is they slapped like the 4 episodes together to try and make a movie out of it.
They did, yeah, and it shows that it was rushed. If you actually look at all the Jabba's palace scenes, they didn't have enough time to make aliens as background characters, so they literally just put alien heads on Obi-Wan's and the Chancellor Palpatine's figures. Like that's just how rushed it
I never
was.
noticed that.
Yeah, go back and watch it. It's crazy.
And what's funny is I'm old enough to where I grew up with both of the Clone Wars series.
You see, I didn't grow up with. Well, I kind of did. I saw mainly the last volume of Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. I didn't watch the first one until I was much older. But I always liked both. That's the thing. But another thing too, though, is that I always viewed them as being connected. I never thought of one over, over trumping the other, because in the 3D animated one, it actually references the 2D one when Anakin fought Ventress. So I was just like,
That's
oh,
true,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, okay, it's just in between those two then. Because technically, we never do get that final season 7 of the Clone Wars, and that's only Disney era. So you can still technically look at it being, those two still being canon to the EU.
Yeah, officially, it still is part of Legends, despite the issues. It was funny is they were originally going to fix those continuity errors, but then they just didn't do it for some reason.
It's because Disney bought Star Wars. That's why.
Yep.
Yeah, the thing with George was just weird. There's a lot of it's explained in Iger's memoirs how that happened. Some people blame the fans for how they treated George after the prequels, and George just was like, I'm done with this. Some people have said from behind the scenes that the numbers weren't as strong as George wanted it to be in the merchandise, so that's another reason why he sold it. I don't know if that's true. I think Star Wars has held pretty well merchandise rights and wise until the prequels came out. It's just strange. Maybe because if I was his kids, if I was like Jet Lucas, or if I was Katie Lucas, dude, I'd be like, Dad, why would you sell that? I'd want to be in charge of that at some point, or at least say, hey, I'm interested. I think maybe Katie was, because she was writing a lot of episodes for the Clone Wars. But,
yeah, she worked on the Night Sister stuff.
Yeah, and a few things from season 2, I think, as well. And she was going to she actually wrote the episodes for the Quinlan Vos Ventress arc at the very end. But that got turned into a novelization for the Disney stuff. So she showed interest. Again, that just leads me to question, like, why would Lucas do that? I don't know. Maybe the answer's out there somewhere. But how I got into the EU wasn't actually that show. I actually got into it through, I believe, the Jedi Quest stuff, because those would be in the libraries at my school.
That's a pretty good start.
Yeah, and I remember reading that stuff, and I thought to myself, oh wow, so this is, all that important character stuff that should have been in the prequels, but with Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's in these, so I would read a few of those. I haven't read them all. Interesting fact, I put up all that stuff on Twitter the other day of all the audiobooks and stuff. Turns out Jedi Quest is on iTunes, at least. All of that is on iTunes unabridged. So you can go listen to that there.
Wow, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah. And of course, I think YJK audiobooks are eventually going to do them at some point as well. But they're, I think, right now working on Jedi Apprentice with Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. So that's good.
Yeah, let's see. Ooh. It was in between, it was like over the summer in between 5th and 6th grade that the TCW movie came out. And then 6th grade when season 1 officially debuted.
Yes, I think so. Because George wanted it to be kind of advertising for the show, and that's why he released it, I think, a little bit early. And I remember a year prior, they actually released a Lego set to it. I don't know if that was just by accident, because Anakin had it was that time where they were putting the cartoonish eyes on the minifigures. And I remember seeing that, and I was like weirded out by that. I was like, what? But yeah, I'm actually Lance. I'm actually working on a video right now.
Really?
I'm collecting footage for a video for like the circle of people on Twitter, the EU people, because I got some opinions, and not only do I have some opinions, I also have some footage to back up those opinions. And it is on the Clone Wars. It's going to kind of be not really a defense, but I think it's going to be posing a question to the community. So,
I'm really intrigued.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. So yeah, that's all I'm saying for right now.
I can't wait to see it. I'm really intrigued, dude.
Yeah, because I used to work on videos regularly. I used to kind of do YouTube stuff a lot more, and I don't anymore. I kind of want to go into other things. But yeah, I specifically I really liked editing, because to me it was a lot like painting, but in a way to where like you can erase stuff. It was like while you were editing a video and stuff, you could be very creative, because I can make things be really funny, like things when I'm writing out the script. I don't think I was gonna add a joke there, but I was like, oh no, wait, it can be actually pretty funny. So I just edited a video for one YouTuber, but unfortunately he hasn't released it quite yet. I'm sorry, I'm just talking all about me. Iron Inquisitor, you have a YouTube channel, right?
I do, yes.
What kind of stuff do you put out on there?
Various stuff. Is mostly focuses on the Star Wars expanded universe, but sometimes it's just random stuff.
I get you. Yeah. So like, what's one of your favorite eras in the EU?
I've always loved the Old Republic and the prequel era, but ever since I've been really diving into it, I'm really loving the post Return of the Jedi era now.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into that myself. It's so funny when you see the list of Legends novels, at the front of each book. You'll realize, oh wow, there's a whole lot of stuff here, and then you'll see cut down the middle of the pages, it's all post Return of the Jedi stuff. Like half the EU is just post Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
because it's the best era.
From what I've told, and I've always loved the Clone Wars era, whether it be both multimedia and 2008 Clone Wars. So I'm very much interested to see where that goes. It's not because it's not that I've hated Han, Luke, and Leia. I was just never as interested in them. I think it was just mainly my generation, what was advertised to me. But I recently finished Shadows of Mindor.
Oh, how was that?
It was weird because I loved the Luke Skywalker stuff. Everything else was just kind of a why, like Stover why? Because like Stover does have good prose, but his thing here was like, okay, I'm going to insert a book into the Bantam era. It's like right at the beginning of it. And I'm like, okay, so why? And because he doesn't do much with Han, Luke, and Leia character-wise in that book. I'm not going to try to do too much of a spoiler here, but mainly their whole arc is there's this woman that flirts with Han halfway during the book. Leia gets jealous, and then Han's like, oh, hey, I'm sorry, it won't happen again, lol. And I'm like, really? I think that's the arc between these two people. But that's kind of just like a giving them something to do kind of thing, like what George did in Return of the Jedi, because their arc at that point really was completed. There's really nothing much more you could do up until maybe when they have children, I'm assuming. So the book is appropriately named Luke Skywalker and the Shadows of Mindor. So what's Luke Skywalker doing? Well, the whole book, this is the greatest part of it, is that it's Luke fighting nihilism. It's the physical embodiment of nihilism within the Force. I'm assuming that's basically what I forgot the name of the villain, not Chronal. It's the other thing that he's
like Lord Shadowspawn.
Lord Shadowspawn, thank you. Yeah, that's That's what's really cool. And so I know Matt Wilkins, he says that character pops up in other stuff in the EU. So I want to delve into that. That's really cool. And so it's basically Luke coming to grips with, okay, like I'm this embodiment of hope, which is what he was, of course, in the original trilogy. So that's what I like Stover adding on to it. Or he's saying that, but in a different way here, because Luke now he's challenged, or he's faced at that point with challenging his own beliefs that he's just been given. He's just been given the rank of general. He doesn't really want it. He just wants to start this new Jedi Academy and keep the Jedi going. He didn't really want to fight a war, but he's like, oh shit, I have to. Wait, sorry, can I cuss on this?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, he's like, I kind of have to, because everybody expects me to. And then of course his first mission, it's this isn't too much of a spoiler, because they basically know that it's going to be a disaster. They know they're going to lose a ton of New Republic soldiers. But yeah, like his first mission is just a complete effing failure. And it's not really his fault. It's just they gave him the rank of general, and he just wasn't prepared for this mission. It was almost like they were wanting to cast this off to him, almost. I don't know. But it is neat because Luke does go through all this. He does challenge his own beliefs. There's a few paragraphs in there, a few pages where he just kind of questions everything. He's like, why am I doing this? You soon learn there's a reason why he's doing that. It's not just Luke. There's like a reason why he's doing it. Like a mental thing that Chronal did. But it makes sense since he goes through all this. He loses a few people under his command. He witnesses all this death around him. He fights. He overcomes this nihilistic villain, so to speak, and he's done questioning these beliefs. So when you reach Heir, you get to Heir to the Empire, because you really don't see these characters much. Well, you do see them in Princess Leia, the courtship of Princess Leia. But by the time you get to that point, you're like, oh, okay, this is why Luke's so mature now. This is one of those reasons why. It's like, I understand, I get it. Because that's one of the things I wanted to do while exploring the EU post Return of the Jedi. I wanted to try and get like a roadmap of Luke's character arc. I'm sorry, I ranted there for a long time. But yes, long story short, I thought it was a mid-book because I thought there was a lot of good things to it, but I think there was a lot of wasting my time things to it. So.
Okay.
You know what's another mid-book?
What?
iJedi.
iJedi?
It took me over a year to finish that book.
It was that bad, I know.
Really? Well, it was also mostly because of the drama with those people too.
Yeah, I know.
But my biggest problem, it was just too long. Like it could have been a lot shorter.
Well, that's weird because I'm listening to the first X-Wing novel right now. I'm almost done with it. I'm on chapter like 32. I'm listening to the audiobook with Mark Thompson. God, it's really good, dude. I recommend everybody, if you're listening to this, that's the only way to experience that book with Mark Thompson. His voices are amazing. But anyway, Stackpole, he's writing a really good story there. And it's like, so you get to iJedi. I'm assuming that's where Corran becomes a Jedi. I'm assuming he learns that. And so it's like, how's that boring? Is it like what Wilkins says? Is it just?
It's not that it's boring. It's just it flips off the Jedi Academy trilogy. That's
really?
Yeah, it's just, and that's why I think everyone should read the Jedi Academy trilogy before they read iJedi, because if they don't read the Jedi Academy trilogy, they're not going to understand why it flips off iJedi, or why it flips off the Jedi Academy trilogy.
Huh.
I'm thankful I read the Jedi Academy trilogy first then.
Yeah. I ordered
I hate that book. It's a huge freaking FU to what Anderson did. I'm being serious. Anderson gave him permission, but I really don't care.
Did Stackpole did he ever write anything in the EU after that?
He wrote Dark Tide. But after Dark Tide, he really didn't write anything else. I mean, he wrote Mara Jade by the Emperor's Hand, I guess, in between there, which is a comic, but I don't really count that. Novel-wise, not really.
Okay. Yeah, I started reading Mara Jade and the Emperor's Hand last night. I didn't sit down to do like a deep dive. Okay, I'm going to explore this whole work. I was just reading a few pages because I just had the Dark Horse Omni come in. And I was reading the first few pages and I'm like, yo, Jabba, she just about pulled out a weapon in your court, dude. She was about to kill somebody. It could have been you, and you're just letting her go. Like, I thought they would have killed her for that. That was just really weird. Just a thing I noticed. But
maybe she used the Force or something. Who knows?
yeah, you don't want to write for the writer though. Stackpole was a bad part on Stackpole there, but hopefully the rest of it's good.
It's a good series.
Okay.
There's a lot of Shadows. There's a lot of Shadows of the Empire references in that. There's a lot of X-Wing references, and then of course Thrawn trilogy references. It's like a big it references a lot of the big stories in the EU, the more
That's
popular
cool.
ones.
I haven't read Shadows yet. My buddy has a copy of that I want to buy off of him, but he's
I
being
have a hardback
prick.
copy.
Huh?
I have a hardcover copy of it.
Oh, you lucky! I'm trying to get that right now.
I read it over the summer. It's a really good book.
Okay, I'm just gonna listen to the audiobook that YJK Audiobooks put out of it, where it's just the text to speech thing. Do you think I should just read it physically or?
I read physical books. I don't read audiobooks, so
Okay.
I'm just not an audiobook person, so I can't really comment on
And
that.
I generally prefer having it in my hand and reading it too.
Okay. All right, we'll see then. Maybe because I didn't enjoy Shadows that much with that, but they got a new text to speech voice now that sounds a lot better. So we'll see. And I should have actually started with the Bantam series. I really should have started with either Shadows or Trucept Bakura or Bakura. I needed to. Hey, that looks nice, man.
It's coming very nicely together.
Got that armor.
On to bag 6 now. Shoot, I just went through 2 bags tonight, and we're not even an hour in. I think I'm gonna start building the legs in this bag. It looks like it.
I started reading the Jedi Academy trilogy around the same time The Last Jedi came out, and it was just it was a
I
breath
bet that
of fresh
stung
air
even
for
more.
me. What?
I bet that stung even more watching that movie.
Like it was such a breath of fresh air because I'm like, here is Luke, rebuilding the Jedi Order, and he's doing it successfully.
Yeah, well, he's doing that Mandalorian Iron Inquisitor, so be quiet.
You know what's funny? Last night I continued watching Book of Boba, but the only reason I did was for the Mando episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was interested in seeing that.
Garbage.
Oh, what?
The Book of Boba Fett is garbage. Horrible show.
It
I don't know
really
how people
was
like
bad.
it,
It's
but I loathe that show so bad.
that it was startling how bad that was because you got it. Like I'll give Mando season 1 and season 2 this. There was a quality to it to a degree, not necessarily story wise, especially season 2, but at least when they're doing action set pieces, bro, that's not bad for a TV show. And then all of a sudden you see Book of Boba and you're like, what the hell happened?
Oh, and that's Jon Favreau for you morons that love to worship him. I'm just saying, Jon Favreau wrote most of those episodes.
Here's the thing: there's rumors as to what happened with Boba. There's rumors as because they were having that come out, and they wanted, or they had the Gina Carano get fired, and there's rumors saying that's they had to change everything real quickly. They were like, okay, here's a Boba Fett movie that never got made. Let's take some of the ideas in this, rework it for a TV show. Wait, this won't fit a 6-hour time slot. Okay, well then let's throw in 2 Mando episodes in there to pad it out, which were essentially going to be the first episodes of season 3. And so that's why they've taken much longer to make season 3. That makes sense, but it's even still, man, you shouldn't have released that. You should have just waited,
When the show first came out, I only watched the first 2 episodes of it, and then I just went, and lost interest.
I don't blame you. I started reading, the Bounty Hunter Wars, and I was just like, oh, this is so much better. This is so much better. Boba just comes crawling out of the Sarlacc pit, and Dengar's like, dude, what happened? Like Jabba's dead and everything, man. Like the Sarlacc's dead. What happened? And he's like, bro, I fucking iced that bitch. That's what happened. and he passes out.
That sounds great.
Yeah,
Blew it up.
He blew it up. Which is funny because in the Marvel comics, he gets out in the 70s. He gets out, and then he's trying to kill Han Solo, and for whatever reason they're on Tatooine again, and they're like a sail barge. They're like him and Han Solo are fighting on a sandcrawler. They're fighting on a sandcrawler, and then like it's about to go back into the Sarlacc pit, and Han Solo's like, "Yo, Boba, give me your hand, man," and he's like, "No, Solo, I'm gonna kill you," and then. They're like, Han, jump, get off, and then Han jumps, and then like Boba goes back into the Sarlacc pit. I'm like, you idiot.
I've heard EU haters complain about. They're like, oh, he fell in multiple times. That's dumb.
Oh, dude, like you can laugh. Here's the thing, like you can think it's dumb, but I'm just like, I think it's funny. I don't really laugh at it.
Yeah, it was funny, but then the serious way he got out. I mean, the dude was blowing it up from the inside out.
Yeah, no,
How do people not find that badass?
That is badass. I know there's some Marvel stuff from those old comics that are and are not canon. I know it's kind of dicey. It just like some EU writers pick and choose, but that is pretty fun. Like, I get what you mean though. Yeah, him leaving the badass way is probably the actual way he got out. But yeah, and the Book of Boba, and now everybody in the
I believe it was, what story was it? Yeah, he was thrown back in, and then it was Tales of Mos Eisley Cantina described him back in the Sarlacc while he was in it, and then showing him blow it up, and then Bounty Hunter Wars showed him after he escaped.
Okay,
so it's not that they ignored it; they did adhere to it. The only thing that's kind of iffy is the actual timeline. It's like, well, we know when the stories happen, we just know how. We don't know how long it happened between each other.
Yeah,
that's kind of the weird part. But other than that, I mean, it makes complete sense.
Yeah. Because you'd have to have Han and them go back to Tatooine after Return of the Jedi. But yet it takes place before Truce at Bakura. So it's like there's that whole thing. But it's okay. It's whatever. At least we can all just say it's whatever the dilemma, whatever the issue was, it's still better than Book of Boba. I left my armor. Where's my armor? I left it in the Sarlacc pit.
One of my friends, he likes to call the Book of Boba Fett the bait of Bobby Fett.
Oh yeah, and that's another thing to why I think it was rushed too, and they needed just something to fill the void. Was because like, dude, Tamara, what the fuck, man? You're playing Boba. Work out. Stop going to Arby's, bro. Go pack on some muscle. Because like it's obvious you're gonna want him for the next like whatever, and then you'll see during the finale of the show, like when all the action's happening, it's like, dude, your stunt double's like a foot taller and like way skinnier. It's obviously not you. Oh me. Oh man, what a shit show. I will say though, in my own fan fiction head, I'm glad that Ahsoka finally met Luke. It touched my heart.
I'm not.
Was it a religious experience?
I knew that gets you, Lance. I knew that gets you.
She's supposed to be dead, bro. According to George Lucas, that's not my opinion. What in the world? How's...
Hey Dave, I see she's walking around in Mando. What the hell, man?
Oh, I thought Ahsoka was supposed to be dead. Why is she alive, Dave?
Dave, he's like, hey George, like don't think about it too hard, man.
Oh, George, this is just a flashback. I'm not contradicting your vision.
Lord.
Yeah. But no, I actually interesting thing about Ahsoka is that I actually am.
There's something interesting about her.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, but
I'm just kidding.
yeah. You're gonna cringe, Lance. I'm not joking when I say this. She's actually.
Oh, let's prepare. I'm prepared for this.
You prepared for this? She's actually
She's
she's,
an
she's one of my
character.
favorite Star Wars characters.
Why?
Mainly because of the fact I just grew up with her.
Okay,
I was
fair.
that age when I remember seeing her. I was 8, and all my friends, were watching the Clone Wars too. I was like, elementary school level, and none of us had any problem with her. We were just all like, "Oh, okay, Anakin just has a Padawan now. That can, as long as she's like dead or something before Episode 3, then who cares?" That was just kind of our way of thinking about it.
Even when an old friend, who I went to elementary school with, he even questioned like Ahsoka's existence. He's like, "Why isn't she mentioned in Episode 3?"
Here's the thing. I would just say, maybe Anakin had other things on his mind. But here's the thing, like, Anakin was so worried about his wife dying. And I'm like, bro, what about your kids? Because she's like, and the baby? And he's like, I don't know. And then so for the whole rest of the movie, he's like, oh, I got to make sure my wife doesn't die. And I'm like, bro, what about your kids? Oh, like Anakin, you're such a terrible person, dude.
There's a leg.
Hey, nice. Need to put a.
Man, I have to go all the way back and rebuild this.
Hey, you know what you got to do? You got to put a lampshade over it.
What do you mean?
You're so young.
Am I
It's
supposed to know what this?
a Christmas Story reference. In the
I watched
movie,
that movie in so long.
it's in the movie. There's the leg lamp. I was just like, you should put.
Oh yes, it's iconic.
Mm-hmm.
I have to build this like 3 more times.
You can do it, bro. I believe in you.
That means I have to go all the way back to the beginning and go through it again.
Dude, make that AT-AT your
Perseverance.
bitch, bro. Do it. Getting balls deep in that Lego set.
Apparently. Lego, I hate you.
They've been doing a lot of weird stuff, man. A lot of people have been asking for more Clone Wars sets, and thankfully we're getting them. But for a while, Lego just said, "No, screw you. We don't want to make Clone Wars sets." And not even like, here's the thing: they could also do 2003 Clone Wars sets because they've done a few.
They should make EU sets. I'd be more interested in that.
They should, and they actually
They're
do
not going
have.
to.
They have the license because they've done a few. That's the thing.
Yeah,
It's like they just have. They want to make They want to make sets of stuff that will sell. So of course they'll do it for the TV shows. They'll do it for the movies. Oh, sorry. Wait, what movies? There's no movies in theaters. It destroyed the franchise. That's right.
Thanks, Disney.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
How stupid you got to be to fuck that up, man. Like I know, like everybody's been saying this for like the past 5 years or so, but that really, it's just that much of a shock. It's like, how do you mess up so badly?
How do you
Like-
mess up Star Wars? It's Star Wars. It's not freaking
Apparently,
Lord of the Rings.
apparently, it was harder than most people thought, or easier than most people thought. One of the problems with Star Wars is that it has such mass appeal that everybody has an opinion, everybody has a take on it, and it's hard to narrow down kind of what it is if you're just a casual fan. If you just have a casual interest, you don't get the background of it, you don't get the whole history with the EU and everything. For instance, JJ didn't respect the prequels. He didn't like them, so he just kind of threw. He didn't throw almost any mention of it. He brought up the Clone Wars, but that's only because the Clone Wars was mentioned in Episode 4. I don't know. Anyway, that's like a whole nother discussion.
Indeed.
Iron Inquisitor, what's your thoughts, bro?
I don't know. My mind's kind of wandering.
Oh, okay. Say, Iron Inquisitor, not just so you don't dox yourself, but like, what's like a rough age range for you? Like when did you grow up?
I was born the same year the special editions of the original trilogy came out.
Okay. So that would have been around. Okay. Dude, those special editions though. You know, have you guys gotten the despecialized editions from Harmy's despecialized editions of the movies?
No, because I have the movies on VHS. I don't need them.
I have no need because I have them on Laserdisc.
There you go.
Okay. Like, so I have the original VHS too. Like, I have them in widescreen, but like, even those still have some tamperings because, let's say, for example, like with the New Hope, it still says A New Hope at the beginning of the title crawl, and the original version of the movie didn't say that. It just said Star Wars. So
My
just, like-
version, it was like a 1993 release, which I have on the discs.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't know about the laser discs because that is true. They did release the laser discs on DVD years later, right? They came with the
Yeah, in
special edition.
2006 they transferred them over to DVD, but they weren't like a really.
They weren't a
great
good transfer. Yeah. With Harmy's, you can actually get them on Blu-ray, and there's another project out there called Project 4K77. They actually scanned in the original scans of the movies on 4K, and they cleaned them up. You can only get them on a streaming site right now, like a personal streaming site. It's really weird. But when they become like more widely, let's just say when you can download 4K files and upload them to like a 4K disc without having multiple discs and stuff, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get those movies, dude. But man, those what's your favorite out of the original trilogy?
Who, me?
Anyone of y'all.
A New
What-
Hope.
A New Hope? Okay. What about you, Iron?
Oh man, that's hard. Either Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi.
Okay. Return of the Jedi. Yeah. Empire's weird, man. Empire's an anomaly. Because that came out at the very end of the new wave of cinema in the 70s. So, like, you know, you had Spielberg, De Palma, Francis Ford Coppola, Spielberg. I think I already said Spielberg. Anyway, you had all those guys, especially with George, in the 70s, and they were making New Hollywood. They were making, because, you know, around the early 60s, movies, they weren't doing the way that the studios wanted them to. So you had these newer guys coming in, and they were making these great movies. You know, you had Jaws, Godfather, you know, just movies like that. And of course, George, you know, in '75, well, he came out with American Graffiti, of course. And then, you know, he's like, hey, I'm going to go make Star Wars. He pitches it to, you know, Gary Kurtz. Gary Kurtz, somebody very important to the original trilogy. Nobody brings that guy up. But he produced the first two movies. And they're like, okay, we're going to go do this. But George, you need to revise these scripts. You need to revise them because, dude, your ideas, first of all, budgetary reasons, we can't do it, some of this stuff. And also, just some dialogue needs retinkering. But then once that happens, you know, it starts in 75. So Star Wars starts, you know, mid 70s. So the new wave is already in full swing, and then it gets released towards the end. So then, you know, George wants to make Empire, and he's like, but I want to take a step back. And so Star Wars is a huge success. His wife and him are starting to kind of have problems at that point. He's like, I need to find somebody to direct this movie because I just want to focus on different aspects of the movie. He goes to his film teacher, Irving Kershner. And he's like, hey, can you make this for me? And Irvin's like, all right, I'll make this for you, George. But you have to give me complete freedom to make this movie. You have to give me complete control. And George is like, okay, done. And so he goes to make Empire. Now, the thing about Irvin is that Irvin didn't really have much to his name when it came to directing. I think he did like a few like TV movies, and then all of a sudden you had him direct this movie. You had Lawrence Kasdan write it, and then like it's like one of the greatest movies of all time. And this guy came out of nowhere who's not made much. It's so weird. It's not because it's weird because it's a bad movie in any way. It's a very good movie. It's just Empire is just like a series of people, I think, peaking in their career. You had John, who I think made an even more, I think, memorable soundtrack than I think the first movie. You had, of course, Lawrence Kasdan write the script, but the first lady, I forgot her name. She wrote one draft of the script, and she passed away from cancer right as she turned it in.
Lee Brackett.
Yeah, her. And George didn't like it. Like he didn't like the script, and then it's like that's so sad because she just died. He's like, oh no. But yeah, I'll give it to Lawrence, and he did a great job. And of course, on set, Kirshner got control and made that stuff come to life with the actors. Then you had ILM post, the post side of the movie, because they had just done the first one, and it was just like, oh wait, that's the fruits of our labor. That's what it can be. Well, let's just up that ante even more. So everybody's upping their ante for the sequel. I think that really pays off, because I don't think Star Wars would be what it is without that second movie. Like, there's no way it would be the same franchise at all. Especially since most sequels back then really didn't beat the original. Like Godfather 2, Empire are the only ones that really come to mind at the moment. And then, later, of course, in the 90s, you had T2 come out, Terminator 2. And that was one of those that many people consider it to be better than the original. I personally don't. I like the first Terminator more.
Oh, my friend actually agrees with you on that.
Yeah. It's for the longest time, like, because I've noticed younger people like me are saying that. And I think people who saw T2 come out in theaters, who were actually there for it, they have a much different opinion, because, of course, that was like the rise of like when special effects, like a CGI, was actually starting to take place in Hollywood, and it was done effectively, and it was perfect because the CG back then really didn't look good. It looked like a PS2 game essentially. And so, of course, but when it's just liquid metal, especially when it's at nighttime, so you can hide a lot more things when it's in the dark.
So it works.
It works. It looks so good. And I think that's really what captured people. Plus, Arnold being a good guy, I think that also helped as well. It helped his career a lot more. But yeah.
Yeah, well, my friend JJ Plagiarism showed me those movies. It kind of like subverted my expectations, because like here's everything's going on. It's like, oh, the Terminator is on their side this time.
Arnold.
And I love how I finally got the context of all those famous lines.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, 80s movies, and then 80s movies took off, and they were a whole other thing. But Empire came out right at the end of New Wave, and that's when things started being blockbusters. That's when things started being... There's a lot of creators still had a lot of freedom, but things slowly started creeping in, becoming a little bit more corporate. You reach the 90s, it's more corporate. And then, of course, now you see what we have today, where it's just everything's either a Marvel... Like, it's just everything is just superhero movies. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't want to watch a superhero movie. I'm done with them. That was the past decade. Can we do something else, please? That's probably more of a controversial opinion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Are you guys sick of superhero movies, or you guys still want more of them?
I'm not sick of superhero movies. I'm just sick of the MCU.
You know what?
Yeah,
That's fair enough.
They could have ended it with Endgame, and I would have been fine.
I stopped after Endgame. I said, I'm done with this. The only other superhero movie I've seen since then was the Batman. And I actually like the Batman. I thought that was all right.
I haven't seen a movie in theaters since late 2019.
Really?
And guess what
Oh.
movie that was?
Oh no, what?
The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh no.
That's peak fiction. What are you talking about?
Fiction.
Said no one ever. Oh gosh, I hate this. Is so tedious.
Hey man, just be happy you're not having to do the stop motion for those actual models. Like they did on Empire. Because when they were doing all those stop motion for that, do you know what they had to use for the snow?
What did they use?
They used baking soda. So they would be up close to that shit, having to slightly move the legs. And not only were they moving the legs, they were moving the little appendages on it. Like, so when you see the movie, the little wheel joints actually turn as they walk. And they were like breathing all that. It was getting in their eyes. Oh God. Like, ugh. I'm glad I wasn't involved on that.
But yeah, I haven't seen a movie since then because of the COVID nonsense and being stuck here at my grandma's.
Do you? I mean, most of the stuff's mainly lifted now. Do you go out any, or at least here in the States? Do you live in the States?
Oh, United States? Yep.
Okay. Do you just like live in like a city area or something? Or?
Yeah, I'm from Washington, Eastern Washington, but my
Oh,
grandma's
okay.
house is in the countryside.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to dox you there, bro. You didn't. I didn't mean to. You didn't have to spell that. I'm sorry. But no, it's like. Well, I don't blame you too, because there's just not a lot of stuff in theaters worth seeing right now. There just really isn't, which is a shame. Yeah, Top Gun come out. That wasn't bad. I actually liked it. You know.
Oh, my dad saw that and he loved it.
Yeah. It was basically an '80s movie, but just put in the modern day. And it's like, oh my god, it actually made money. Who would have thought? just make a good movie. It's basically just it's almost the whole like third act was basically A New Hope. A New Hope's third act, and it worked. It's good. Yo, Lance, what movies you seen recently?
I watched Ewoks a little bit. I don't watch movies a whole lot anymore, which sounds really weird, but
I don't either. I mostly just read, play video games, and watch YouTube.
I mean, you're talking about in theaters. The last movie I saw in theaters was The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh,
Because
wow.
it's only because it's Star Wars. I mean, I had no other reason to watch any other movie in theaters.
So I guess we're in the same boat there.
Yeah, it looks like.
I mean, with streaming services now, I mean, there's just no point.
Yeah, I get that sentiment. Especially with just because there's some movies that I think are made to be seen in the theaters. Definitely, that's part of the experience. But then there's just most like, yeah, you can just probably skip and just like my theater is like my home theater is probably a lot better than any theater because most people are on their phones now in theaters. Most people are talking. Like I like the amount of times I think the last few times I've gone to the theaters. Yes, I'm that person, by the way. I actually have had to gone up and go to people like, hey, be quiet. I'm trying to watch this. It's crazy. I watched that new Cronenberg recently a few months ago. Dude in front of me just had his phone out. I'm like, bro, you're watching a David Cronenberg movie. Like nobody like really like out of all people to go see a movie for, like this is like one of the last great filmmakers, and he's actually like making something, and you're like on your phone during it, like,
oof.
Whatever. I told him to shut up and get off his phone. I didn't say it like that. He had his girlfriend with him, so of course he had to save face and be like, "Oh, I don't know why he did that." Oh, I'm a big movie fan. I don't know if you can tell.
Yes, cinema.
Yeah.
It's great. You know what's funny is I made a video back in 2019 when they announced like, oh, Palpatine is returning for Rise of Skywalker, and I made fun of all the EU haters who bashed Dark Empire.
Yeah, I'm not a big Dark Empire fan.
Which, you know, I
but
can respect.
Yeah, and it's like they just took it. They just took it.
Like
Yeah.
the video was so hilarious. Like I was laughing, and then I had like hot chocolate or coffee or whatever, and I pretended like, oh, these are the tears of the EU haters,
Yeah.
and I gulped it down and smiled. And I was like, those are delicious.
Yeah,
very
and it's like it's so weird because I just now learned about all this EU hate. I didn't really know if that was a thing. I just thought people either just were like, oh yeah, there's the EU over there.
Oh man, you should have been around in 2014 when it was just utterly getting, you know, trashed on. It was so disheartening for, you know, a fan like me.
Yeah, and you know, I fear, you know, because I've not experienced all of the EU. I've experienced some good chunks here and there. I've read some books, but I'm no Matt Wilkins. I've not experienced. Huh?
I don't think any of us are Matt Wilson.
Yeah. So for most of us, for a good, I'd say, there's a good 5 years if you're reading consistently of Star Wars stuff you can explore, maybe even more. And so I fear that moment when I reach the end of the EU. I've read all the prequel stuff, Old Republic. I finished all the Dawn of the Jedi comics, and then I go and I read Crucible. Crucible's it. And you're just like, oh yeah, that's right. I have nothing else. I have nothing else. It's over. I guess you can just reread stuff.
Yep.
Well,
Oh, what was I gonna say?
even with someone like Matt, he never stops reading new EU because he keeps discovering stuff. We keep discovering stuff that was unheard of.
Really?
That's amazing.
What stuff was recently discovered?
Well, I mean, usually like smaller comic strips are get rediscovered because the Hungarian Star Wars books or Hungarian Han Solo
right.
books were discovered.
And they're being re-released. There was
Stuff like that always seems to pop up here and there.
There was that Clone Wars Shakti novel that they keep pressing that EU dude to just leak.
Oh yeah, Escape
Right?
from Dagu.
Yeah, dude, I want to read that. I want to read that, dude.
Well, it was written, but the author, I mean, he was paid in full, so because of that, he doesn't feel right to put the book out without no permission.
Maybe one of his kids will when he croaks. We'll see.
Well, I mean, Lucasfilm would probably give him the permission since he was paid in full, but which means Lucasfilm was paid. But
Then maybe this recession we're going into will make him change his mind. It's like, you know, need to get my name out there. Need to sell a few more books, so I'll release this EU thing. It's like, if I reach this amount of sales with my next book, I'll release this book onto a website somewhere.
and then of course with other things like Supernatural Encounters coming up, Lightsider coming up, all those.
I'm excited for the Supernatural Encounters simply for the fact that it expands upon Waru.
Well, hold on now. I've heard about this, but what is it? Supernatural
Encounters was a Supernatural Encounters and Cold Encounters. Cold Encounters is the prequel.
Okay.
They were
Oh,
supposed
okay.
to be novellas that were written by Joe Bongiorno. They were supposed to be released for Star Wars Gamer, but Star Wars Gamer was canceled, so they were going to go put it on Hyperspace, but then Hyperspace got canceled. So Joe he wrote the whole thing back in 2009, but ever since then, new EU had been coming out, so they've been adding to it. Eventually got to a point where it was like 700 pages. It was complete, and it's been 700 pages since then around that. But ever since then, he's been editing it, and Disney took over and rebooted the franchise. Lucasfilm, they have given their full support and permission for Joe to post that. In fact, they were actually going to put it on StarWars.com. I don't remember why they didn't do that. But they were going to.
So okay.
Actually,
So it's officially you stuff. All right. Well,
It is basically, yeah.
nice.
that's so cool. You know, I actually have all the like digital scans of all those old Star Wars gamer magazines.
Really
Yeah, and there's some pretty good quotes in there.
interesting. My buddy's got some of the all those. I believe it was the magazines, the Insider magazines. He has them scanned. He's gonna give those to me on a hard drive soon.
Yeah, I have all those too. And
Good.
when I was writing my response to Force Wave, I just went through all of those magazines and looked for any quote I could find on the expanded universe, on TCW, like.
That's really cool because I liked going through that because I have like I think 5 or 6 that family members got me that was pre Disney era, and you just flip through those and you're just like, that's a lot of toys. That's amazing that they can't sell toys like this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just of a different era. The aesthetic for Star Wars and it was very uncorporate. For as much as Lucas milked all of that merchandise, it was very uncorporate. And that's what was so cool. It's like, dude just plopped his ass down, made a private company, just for nerds to just sit back and just digest some cool stuff. He had neat people, smart people, write that stuff. Very admirable. But that's really cool. You went through all of them. You said you're trying to find quotes in the Clone Wars as well?
Yes, because Force Wave in his video was claiming some things about TCW, and I wanted to see if I could find any quotes that prove him wrong.
What was he claiming?
Oh, TCW was the only thing other canon to George besides the movies, and he was so involved in that.
Oh, you're not gonna like my video coming out then.
Ooh.
You're not gonna like my video.
George was involved with the Clone Wars, but he wasn't involved with the Clone Wars any more than what he was with the EU.
Yeah, my point was that I was just
I hate to say that.
I was just trying to prove that it was a little bit over exaggerated.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. I'm not just gonna throw shit out there. I actually have things I found that I'm gonna put forward. I'm not gonna be very spiteful about it too. I'm just gonna be very respectful. Just like, I found some stuff here. Pose this question to you guys. All right.
Like I found quotes in Insider where.
But I also, hold on before you continue. I'm not making the point that it's the only thing in the EU that's canon. I'm never gonna say that. So the EU isn't canon compared to it or something, like, no.
Yeah, which is Force Away was trying to say.
Was that
anyways,
his main point? Was that his main point then?
Yeah, his main point was, oh yeah, George never considered the EU canon because of the Starlight magazine quote, man.
Yeah. Starlight magazine. I think I may have that saved somewhere.
Burn it.
Burn it.
So anyways, like, I found a quote where basically you read it shows that George never directed a single episode of the show. And and Filoni was also asked, like, oh, how often does George come in? He's just like, oh, sometimes often, but
I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save all conversation for this for my video, and afterwards we'll talk. about it.
Yeah. But I can't wait to see that, dude. I can't. Yeah. I can't wait.
Yeah, man.
And before you guys are like, why did the legs look so skinny? It looks like in back 7 they're gonna be thick and look at, because they look really skinny.
You don't have the armor on them yet, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, there were more parts that need to be put on.
I mean, yeah, there's like little pins here that are out, so I can tell the figure. We're gonna be adding some stuff. So we're not done yet. Man, it's starting to look real good though. It's a nice size. It really is.
Looking beautiful.
Open up the inside. Let's see the inside for the soldiers to sit.
The inside,
Yeah, let's see that.
it's kind of cool. These are, there really isn't much in there. at all, which is kind of sad. But just a bunch of chairs, really. I mean, you can't really see that.
Nice.
So yeah.
They're using sand blue, which Lego doesn't usually use that much anymore.
Yeah, it is kind of weird, that color. I mean, I like the color. Just a little different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is really neat. I love the way this is put together. Okay, let's get some armor on these legs first, shall we? I only have, like, this bag, and for some reason, here's bag 8, and then here's bag 8 again. So,
Oh, that's because they're you have to use them both for the same thing. You have to use them at the same time.
that's interesting.
Yeah, normally in the past they would just put both bags in the same bag together, but Lego being extra now.
Well, I guess it goes with the set.
Does Luke come in the set?
He's right there.
That's my boy.
You can't really see him, but there's Luke.
Yes.
Well, I think so.
Some people say the perverse will only be.
Hey, Iron Inquisitor, I think you got the TV on in the background.
My grandma has it on, and I can't go anywhere because there's no Wi-Fi at my grandma's house.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
I'm tied to an Ethernet cable if I want internet.
Yo, Jay, if you're still in the chat, you should pop in, bro.
Yes.
But yeah. Let's see, I was gonna. What's you guys' favorite Lego set out there?
Favorite Lego set?
Yeah.
The Lego Millennium Falcon from like 2010, 2011. I never got the set, but I really liked it.
Okay.
Always wanted that set, but I never got it. Always wanted it though.
I always loved it was a. Oh, what set was it? Oh yeah, it was. Anakin Skywalker's Jedi Starfighter. It was like a 2005 set.
Okay, I was about to say which one. Yeah, but the 2000 that was actually my very first Lego set, believe it or not.
I also have the TCW one, but it's kind of like the original, like Delta wing, like or the Delta Jedi Starfighter, and I also have the Ahsoka one too.
Hey, if you don't want that anymore, actually, you can send that to me. I've actually been looking for that one. I'll pay you for it, for real. I'll actually pay you for that. I've actually been wanting to get that.
Iron Inquisitor. He said, "Hee." That means you can't get it.
Oh,
Yep.
I knew you were a secret Ahsoka lover. No, I actually like.
Not a proud Ahsoka lover. That's pretty embarrassing.
Here's the thing, bro. Ahsoka's
Just kidding.
mommy. Ahsoka is mommy, and you got to deal with it. So.
What age are we talking? When we say
Yeah.
Look, it's Rosario Dawson.
Yeah, dude. Well, she was like 40 something in Rebels. 30
She's like in
something.
her 30s and right.
She was like 32 in Rebels or something like that.
Hey, look, I'm gonna keep that story to myself. I'm gonna keep that story to myself.
It's okay, Slav.
Let's just say MILFs are fun.
There's nothing to be embarrassed about. Actually, there's a lot to be embarrassed about. Never mind.
Dude. Speaking of, so you said one of your favorite characters was Corran Horn, right?
Who are you talking to?
Lance, you.
I never said that.
Oh, I thought you did. Okay, maybe I misheard you though.
I just said I hate iJedi earlier.
Oh, so
Like,
you
you
don't
know-
like Corran. Okay.
Corran Horn was he's a
I
Chad,
don't
but
like
the book
Corran. I
is
just don't like him in Jedi.
Okay. I'm enjoying him and the X-Wing stuff. He's cool dude there.
I haven't read the X-Men stuff yet. I know Heresy. Right?
Oh my god. Lance, you call yourself an EU simp.
I am.
Get on my level. Get on my level, bro.
Have you read the New Jedi Order?
I have the audiobooks on my computer.
Yo, that don't count, dude. You know why? Because they're all abridged.
No, they're not. They're like 23 hours long each. Hold on, let me go look.
I can't
No,
wait to
they're
start
all
Jedi
abridged.
Order.
Anyway, oh, by the way, also, go to read comics on online.com. Yeah, Maxine, there we go. Got some Corrin love.
I mean,
Alright.
I read Rogue Squadron, at least most of it. I didn't finish it, and I remember enjoying it. So I was like, I don't hate Corrin. I liked him in Dark Tide and the Jedi Order.
The X-Wing books are they're very political books. That's really cool. I like that. Dealing with the basically all the nebulous awfulness of politics and people just wanting power. Even though the New Republic is supposed to be a good thing, it's supposed to be for a good cause. It's like, no, we still have different species, different governments trying to gain as much power as possible within it. And it's just, that's really sad. And of course, Rogue Squadron is the ones who have to face that. Like, they're the ones who have to deal with people's bad decisions just because they want more power, as it is in real life.
Free Floors is celebrating with 50%
With the
off
soldiers in real
installation
life.
on all Keristan carpet purchases in October. Come home to the flooring you want with 12
Iron Inquisitor, what's
units
like
and incredible in-store specials.
if you were stuck on an island with one EU book or one piece of EU material, what would it be?
Oh, that will be real hard. It depends. We're talking about like all of the EU, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Vector Prime is my answer. It's my favorite EU book. So
Man, if it was a book,
Books last longer.
I'd probably take Darth Bane Path of Destruction with me.
Bane's good, man. I've read the first book. It's in the invert of the hero's journey, especially when it comes to Luke Skywalker. It's like the anti-Luke Skywalker
Yeah.
book, or somebody becomes the villain, and it actually makes sense. It's like, I'm gonna be a bad guy because
Did you know that the Bane trilogy, at least the first book, got me back into the expanded universe back in 2014?
Heir to the Empire, and that did for me a few years ago.
Because I
didn't-
left because due to how people were treating the expanded universe and all the online hate, it caused me to leave Star Wars for several months.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it was Path of Destruction and Matt Wilkins that brought me back.
Matt's been doing it for me right now. Matt, he spoils everything when you watch his stuff, and I'm just like, Matt, like, come on, I'm trying to enjoy some of this now. I love you to death, bro. Like, you're passionate, but like, stop spoiling stuff. But anyway, it is reread for a reason. Him. Let's say Lance and EU Commando's tweets that kind of get me into it. Also, what really just gets me into it is that they're better stories than what Disney's putting out. I mean, Disney is saving money by buying or by hiring bad writers, because good writers in Hollywood cost money because their names are attached to good stuff. So they're like, oh, wait a minute, we don't, because quote unquote fans will just gobble whatever up, and we'll just go hire whatever writer because people are going to watch it and buy it anyway because consume.
don't think consume.
Exactly.
My only one issue with the Bane trilogy is that it retcons Skeleton Githany.
It retcons what?
Skeleton Githany, as I like to call it.
What's that?
Okay, so in the comic Jedi vs. Sith, which came out like 5 years before the Bane trilogy, she actually survives the thought bomb for a little bit, and she's like this creepy like skeleton that has like one eye, and she still has hair on her head. You know what's funny is I never read the last issue of Jedi vs. Sith because of that. That creeped me out so much as a kid.
Oh wow.
And she goes to Bane. Oh, just a sec. The phone's ringing and it's distracting me. There's so much noise. And the phone's like right in my face, so it's so loud, going ring, ring. So it makes it hard for me to talk to people and there, I shut it off. So anyway, where was I?
You were talking about the thought bomb and how she survived it in the comics for a little bit.
Yeah, you know, in this, you've read the second book, right?
I've not read the second one, so please don't spoil anything.
Okay, so all I'll say is that there is a part of the comic that does appear in the second book. At the very beginning, or I mean, at the end of the comic, you know, Bane and his new apprentice Zana are like, "Ha! Look at the thought bomb! It contained all the Sith." And then, you know, Darovit's like, "No, I'm not going to let you have taking my cousin as an apprentice." And so, to save his life, Zana like uses the Force to make his hand like explode. And after that, as they're about to leave the cave, Githany comes and she goes, you know, she's this creepy skeleton. She goes,
Bane, I was stronger than the thought bomb. Just like you. I will be your apprentice. And together, we can rule the cat.
And then she falls apart.
That was great.
That's an L right there.
It's what?
Great acting, Iron.
I was gonna say for her that's an L right there. Just you ain't ruling nothing, bro. You dust now.
And me and my friend are thinking about writing that into the book because I was so disappointed because I wanted to see like, oh, what was Bane thinking? Like, what's his thoughts on that?
Yeah, I don't know why he left it out. Maybe he just didn't know the book existed or something.
I don't
Or
know.
he would have had to. You need to put the thought bomb in there. I don't know. But they're weird. Maybe that was planned and they cut it out of the book for time.
You know what's funny? A lot of people dislike Jedi versus Sith, but I actually kind of like it.
I don't own a copy. I'll have to get it. Hopefully it'll come out in the new hardbacks that Marvel's putting out. Their omnibuses. Because their omnibuses are really, really good. The only problem I have with them is that they do not collect any of the digest comics, and the paper is really thin.
Oof.
It gets strangely thin, and I know why. It's because they got to save cost and
Yeah, unfortunately.
like that's the thing with the Dark Horse Omnis. It's like, bro, the paper's thick. It's good. It's good quality. Like these things aren't falling apart years later. At least if you treat it right. I don't know about any of the newer comics, but at least the hardbacks though from Marvel, they're good. And yes, Lance, I think you should collect them, even though it has the Legends banner on it.
I have Dark Empire's Epic Collection. But if I can find the original Dark Horse trade paperbacks or omnibuses, I'm going to get those instead. If it's for a cheap price.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dark Horse more.
I understand why. Because here's the thing that you can do though with the Marvel ones. It's only the dust jacket that has the Legends banner on it. If you take off the dust jacket, it's just the board with just a nice image on it, with like continuous image. So if that really is that big of a deal, you can just do that.
There's hardcover Legends omnibuses. Well, I guess there is, yeah, with SWTOR. Or SWTOR, KOTOR.
Yeah, there was the KOTOR one. They just released the Rise of the Sith one, and they also just released the Dark Times one that has all of Vader's stuff at around that point.
Let me get that one actually.
Yeah, because they're doing what they're doing with the Epic collections. They're basically just putting 2 Epic collections in one omnibus, with the exception of the KOTOR one. They did 3, I think. So essentially, they're going to try and make omnibuses of everything. It's just going to be a long time. But the problem is that they keep pushing the release dates. So like they'll say, okay, for example, the Rebellion, the first Rebellion omnibus. It's going to be coming out January of 2023, and then let's say the release is a month from now or from then, all of a sudden you'll see, okay, Rebellion Omnibus Volume 1 is coming out March 1st. It's like, wait a minute, what happened to January? Terrible. Like, I don't know. Oh, yo, hey, Jay's backstage.
Oh, let's get him up here. Get him in.
Yo.
Hey,
up?
Jay, what's going on, man?
What up, man? How's it going?
Jay, did you just wake up?
A little bit, maybe.
Oh, yeah, we can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
Jay, you got the bed head?
I got the what?
You got the bed head?
The bed head?
Yeah, like hair's all messed up and stuff.
Um,
Just woke up.
To be honest, when you asked, did I get the bed head? I was thinking something totally different. I was gonna say, unfortunately, not. I did not get the bed head, man. I was gonna be like, man, I wish. Bro, that AT-AT looking sexy, man. I ain't gonna lie.
Looks just like me, don't it?
I'm thinking the same thing.
It would be so cool if they made Lego EU sets, bro.
They did for a while.
Yeah, they did a few Old Republic stuff, and they did like
Oh yeah.
Force Unleashed set with like the Rogue Shadow and Star Killer.
I actually have that, by the way. I have the Rogue Shadow.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got Juno Eclipse. She's like one of the few minifigures to have blue eye pupils, which is really
Yeah. Like Lego minifigures are already expensive. Imagine if they made like Lego Yuzan Vong or a Lego Cornhorn. It would be so expensive, I bet. Like, it would be insane, honestly. That would sell for a lot.
I have the 2002 Jango Fett minifigure.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, really?
I do. One of my prized possessions. The most expensive Star Wars one I got, I think, is probably the Luke Skywalker Cloud City one from 1999, I think.
That one's expensive.
Yeah, and I got it when it was only $40, and all of a sudden it's now like 500. I'm like, why is it so expensive? Yeah, because like they have a newer one that came out. And I thought the only reason it was expensive because they never had another Bespin Luke, but they do now, and it's still expensive. So I'm like, okay, whatever.
Piece of plastic, $500. That's insane, man.
Hey, it's only worth what somebody will pay for it.
Yeah,
true.
You're gonna get some Lego diehard collectors. Like, oh shit,
The most expensive.
they're gonna be like 500. That's not a lot.
Yeah, they're called engineers. They're called engineers and investors. That's what they're called. The most expensive Lego one is the Boba Fett Cloud City one, the Bespin one.
Oh,
I don't have that. That's worth like $2,000.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that'll put you through like a semester to a college right there.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, so yo Jay,
Mhm.
if you were left on an island with one
Path
piece
of Destruction.
material, what would
Yeah,
it be?
me and Jay.
What was that?
Path of Destruction, baby.
Path of Destruction. Okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was so like blown away when I read it.
Oh, same, dude. I was just amazed.
It's weird because there was a period where I read nearly like 2/3 of the book, right? And then it was a long gap until I finished the 1/3, and I was like, "Wow, this book is amazing." It was already amazing, but I was like, "This book is so good." Like when you read something and you gotta like pause on what you read, you just gotta sit there and be like, "Damn, like what did I just read?"
Like,
Or like when somebody dies and you're just like, oh, that just happened. And you're like,
Yeah.
that's sad. or how somebody dies too, because I know there's some people who die pretty awfully in that book.
Yeah. Like that. Remember how that one chapter? Oh, can we talk about spoilers?
Only the
No,
first one, not any two. Or
I haven't
three.
read any of them, so please don't.
oh, you're missing out, Lance. I can't wait till you read them.
Oh, never mind.
Jay's like, man, never.
But Lance, you didn't read them? Yeah.
I have not read them.
All right, I'm gonna
I
shut
read
up.
more of the EU than you guys have. I promise, guys.
Well, all I'll say
Have
about
you
this,
read the New Jedi Order?
I didn't read New Jedi Order yet, so
Have you read the Bantam Era?
I read. Well, I'm reading Thrawn trilogies.
I think Lance is lying, dog. I don't think he's read any of them.
You
Yeah,
wanna
he's
see
just-
myself?
He's like one of those Star Wars YouTubers that claims to read the books, but he just saw it on Wikipedia.
yeah, I was just about to say, he just went on there and be like, there. I
He's
know
an EU
the
grifter.
story enough, man.
He's an EU grifter. He's just trying to make money. That's why he's streaming all the time.
Shame on
I have
you, Lance.
100 followers. You think I'm getting paid for this?
Yeah, you're getting tons of
You're
money.
getting
dude.
too much money, bro.
I wish.
You're gonna be buying Twitter tomorrow. You watch.
We need to pay. You need to pay more taxes, mate. You need to pay more in taxes, Lance. You're making too
Yeah.
much money.
Taxation is theft.
It is, bro. That I gotta meet. I wish we could post memes in the chat.
It's only theft if the money doesn't come back around,
And it doesn't.
and it doesn't. You're damn right it doesn't.
You know, the only thing I'll say about Darth Bane Rule of Two is that I enjoyed that book so much that I finished it in like less than a week.
Whoa.
That's dedication.
Like I was just so into the story. I couldn't put it down.
Does anybody read fantasy books here?
Fantasy Flight? Or...
No, like fantasy.
Oh, fantasies and I read some classic literature. I don't really delve too much into fantasy.
Because I started reading Wheel of Time.
Was it good?
Oh, Wheel of Time is like my sister's favorite, book series of all time.
I ain't gonna lie. So when I read the prologue, I had one of those moments where I was like, wait a minute. That prologue was just, the writing was just so good. I can't even describe it. It was like, I felt for the character that they introduced, and then they just like, the character is gone basically.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was the character only established in the prologue and then they died in the prologue?
Yeah, like on some George R. Martin stuff.
Dang.
You know Matt Wilkins, he met Robert Jordan before he passed away.
Wow. I want to talk to Matt about it now.
Yeah, Matt, he loves Wheel of Time as well.
See, Matt Wilkins is so goddamn based.
Yeah, he's one of the most based people like in the Star Wars fandom, man.
Nah, not as based as Mike Zero though. No one's gonna outbase the Mikester.
Mikey.
You know how he gets all those views? He says the names of all those characters, and that helps him in the algorithm.
Oh
So
yeah, you're right.
it's one of more people's
Yeah.
screens.
And then he'll have. I love his thumbnails. He'll Photoshop Kathleen Kennedy's face on Nancy Pelosi's body and have Mara Jade and Thrawn and fucking. He'll give Scarlet Witch a yellow lightsaber. It's just the most randomest shit I ever seen, man.
You know what? He's hustling, dude. He's
hustling.
making more money than me right now. So
I bet.
I'll give him credit for that.
No. Yeah, he's probably making a lot of money, but he really gets on my nerves, man. I don't see no passion in that at all.
Oh yeah.
It's just, and then the comment section is just cringe. So.
No, I'm afraid to go to the comment section.
Oh, the comment section.
Yeah, everyone's
let me do that
Kathleen
now.
Kennedy is so evil.
Hold on,
She
let's
is.
go. I'm afraid when I type in Mike Zero, I'm just gonna get a bunch of Mike Zero in my recommended.
no, I'm not a Kathleen Kennedy fan, but I'm not gonna say that she's the worst thing ever since fucking Adolf Hitler. No, that's stupid.
She was though. She murdered the EU.
All right, this was just released 6 hours ago. Favreau says Grogu's identity will break the internet.
Ooh.
You said what?
Rey's real name leaked. Lucasfilm, it's final, and Kenobi's brother's name news.
Oh God.
Oh no.
Oh goodness gracious, bro.
This is golden.
Let's see. Comment section. Let's see.
Oh no. Are you gonna read the comments?
I'm gonna try and read a few.
No,
Oh,
no.
I'm probably gonna lose some brain cells.
Try not to cringe challenge. Impossible.
This one was just released, so this only has 15. Let me go to an older one. Oh man, he's not pulling more than like 5,000 views anymore.
That's great.
That is good. Like I remember the days where he'd get like 100K regularly.
Like especially when the sequels were coming out, he would make up all these bullshit ass theories, man.
Yeah. Well, I think he would just claim that they're happening, and he wouldn't. He's like, I have this source that says that. It's like,
Yeah,
are
the
you
source.
sure?
Yes, there was a source that got leaked from Lucasfilm.
Yeah, my dad works at Lucasfilm, guys. I'm not lying. My dad owns Lucasfilm, like one of those kids.
He's part of sanitation department. He
Yeah,
totally
yeah.
knows what's going on.
Yeah.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy that possibly works at Lucasfilm.
I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy who works at Lucasfilm, and that guy knows J.J. Abrams.
They've met and talked in person. This is legit.
And J.J. Abrams talked about Mara Jade being in this movie or some shit. Like, shut up.
Apparently, for Rise of Skywalker, not many people know this, but they released a video of all the ships they have at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
And one of the renditions was an artist rendition of one of Mara Jade's ships.
Really?
And like they had to. The guy wanted to sue because they didn't get his permission to use that. But anyway, yeah. So like, apparently, her ship is one of those ships in the Last Jedi.
Isn't there a controversy?
Skywalker.
Isn't there a controversy going on where? Well, there was a controversy where they were basically stealing ship designs from Star Wars fan art.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were.
That is so goddamn lazy. And just
And they know they can get away with it because their lawyers can just basically have they can just push the trial back more and more and more until the person runs out of money for their lawyers.
Like, at least reach out to these artists and pay them and say, hey, we love your artwork, it's very inspiring, can we use it for our future projects? But
No.
just taking them is just what
Jay, like, why would I do that when I can just steal it?
Yeah, exactly. It's
Disney's great, dude. Aren't you glad they own everything? Like, aren't you just happy about that?
they're gonna they have a monopoly on entertainment, which is not a good thing.
Bro, they own me. Like, they own Lance's YouTube channel.
As a black guy, hopefully they don't own me.
Oof.
Oh god.
Oh no.
I do not want to be owned by Disney. Disney, they're gonna. I don't. Oh god. You know, because Disney's just such an inclusive company. You know, so progressive with a great
just
history.
see it. Do you have a YouTube channel, Jay?
No.
Oh, okay. I was about to say I can picture it now. It's gonna be like that new Will Smith movie poster.
Whoa. Oh, shit. Jesus Christ. God damn. That was a brutal one, I ain't gonna lie. That new Will Jesus Christ. But nah, man, Disney, it's just, when you have a monopoly on entertainment, it's not good for the consumer.
It's not.
It's not good at all. And then there's gonna be a time where Disney, what if they own DC or some shit?
I see it happening at some point.
Oh no. Don't give them any ideas or plans.
And here's the
Oh,
thing:
no.
a lot of the reasons why they buy these studios is solely just because they won't have competition.
Exactly.
It's not because they actually want to release the content, or they don't even care about owning the IPs. They just don't want them there.
Yeah.
That's
Like
crazy.
I go on Disney Plus and they just like, I see that they added a whole bunch of stuff to Disney Plus. So they're like, oh, they just bought the rights to that shit. I was just like, damn.
Damn, man. They got Avatar coming out here in a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
With James Cameron's Avatar 2 that nobody's looking forward to.
No one gives a fuck about. But the thing about, I'm gonna watch Avatar 2 most likely.
I'll probably see it too.
My thing with the first one is I feel like it's overrated in the sense of plot, because we seen that story before of the white people colonizers going after the indigenous people.
Yeah, it's called Dances with Wolves.
Yeah. We've seen that a million times before. but the CGI and all that.
No, well, that's how he sold it.
Yeah,
you
the
know,
world
so
building.
Yeah, it was that spectacle.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
And there's rumors he knew he was making kind of like a not very good story, like the most basic story you could think of, just so he can establish a world and then maybe tell good stories later. I'm like, I don't know, maybe, but I think he should have just told a better story.
Well, yeah.
But it's also that thing of like they did recently re-release it in theaters.
Yeah, I like
And
that.
They
message,
released
but
it in a bunch of Asian markets, and the Asians love it. So China is going to go see it. Japan is going to go see it. So that's where all the money for the movie is going to be. I don't know if many people in the States care.
Okay, right, exactly. I like the message, but it's been done before. You know what I'm saying?
And that it was just done very lazily.
Yeah,
Like it was very like hit you over the head with it. Like aren't these whiteys bad? They're doing this to these blue people, isn't it bad? And it's like yeah, like nobody's rooting for these bad guys.
No.
Super weird.
And then James Cameron and George Lucas, they come from the same cloth of that anti-imperialism, fascism type of storytelling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing too. I think Titanic is a little bit of the same thing, but I think Titanic's just a better story. Like,
Titanic?
Yeah, like Titanic's like it's very much like evil bad guy he's abusing his wife. Like okay, yeah, like you're clearly bad guy. There's no nuance there.
Yeah, I thought it was more. I interpret the political messaging of Titanic more as like capitalism, elitism, and more than just white people colonizers. That's how.
No. I didn't mean I didn't mean it like that. I was comparing it to like kind of over your head, like beating you on the head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get what you're saying now.
But it's still a very good movie, and the way it was made in the '90s was really cool too, because they built that ship. They actually rebuilt the Titanic. And
that's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
What was the budget?
It was huge, dude.
Jesus Christ! I didn't know.
He did not pitch it. I don't think he pitched it as a romance. It was while he was in the middle of it, because for the marketing campaign, there was no romance involved in the marketing at first. And then towards the end of the marketing campaign, they're like, oh, no, wait, we should sell this on a love story to get women in the theaters because they'll love it more. Because obviously we have it.
Right.
And it's good. You know, it works. And he became the king of the world. He won 10 Oscars. He made George Lucas and Steven Spielberg look bad. He did. Dude, like if you watch the behind the scenes of episode 1, Lucas is bitching about it. He's like, nobody's going to beat Titanic. You know, there's no way we can. Like, it's making too much money. There's no way. I'm like, George, you're salty, bro. You're salty.
Yeah, George is salty. I'm sure. But he knew when he wrote that screenplay, he was like, yeah, we're definitely not going to beat Titanic.
Yeah.
Nah, I like Phantom Menace. I'm just fucking around. But I was gonna say, damn.
You got this.
Yeah, with the movie type, you said about like romance.
Yeah.
I like romance, right?
Oh, I love romance too, man.
I like getting laid too. Yeah.
So. yeah. No, I just it comes out. A lot of it is so cheesy, or just cringy or corny, the bad dialogue. Like, is that General Veers or?
It's General Veers, bro. Hey.
Oh, the pilot.
There's 2 of these.
Let's give him a name. I'm gonna call him Reggie.
Reggie.
We're gonna call this one Matt. We'll call this one Chris.
Reggie.
Nah, Matt and Chris.
Matt and Chris.
I vote for Reggie and Paul.
No, Tag and Bink.
Take it, Bink, yeah. Many both hands.
Mini Bothan.
We're sticking with Tag and Bink.
Okay.
Tag and Bink.
That's what I vote for.
Yeah, Mini Bothan. That's actually a good joke. I don't care.
That was really good.
Yeah. That's clever. Mini Bothans. But yeah, I feel like Yeah, a lot of romances just come off as really like shallow and dry, and corny, and just right in your face. Like,
It
I don't
depends
know,
on,
every time I
on
think of
how well
romance-
it's done.
Yeah,
Because,
true.
Like,
there's your commercial kind of, all right, yeah, we're obviously trying to get the women in here to make a buck. And then there's like, okay, no, we're going to explore this very complicated and
Relationship,
very
yeah.
integral part of humanity, which is you're having to share your life with someone.
yeah.
And what happens when two people become involved. You know, you're
Twilight
having to maintain
does
that
that really
over.
well.
You know, sometimes it's the Hollywood version where it's like, okay, this happens all in an afternoon, and you know these people aren't going to last a fucking month together in reality. Or then there's some that actually take their time, and it takes place over the course of a few years. And then there's Eyes Wide Shut, which is about your ego being hurt. And Tom Cruise's wife, like, oh yeah, I've daydreamed about fucking other men when I'm with you, and it's like,
Wow.
oh.
Lance's face.
Damn.
Have you guys
That's,
seen Eyes Wide Shut?
Huh?
Have you guys seen Eyes Wide Shut? That movie?
Nah.
Nah.
It's a very slow movie. It's Stanley Kubrick's last movie.
Oh, really?
He died. Yeah, he died before it was released. And some people think because he was the whole like theory, the conspiracy theory around the movie is that like he exposed the Illuminati because the whole movie is that he basically stumbles across an orgy. And it's full of like elite, like politicians, stuff like that, like wealthy businessmen and doctors of Wall Street. And it's just like, oh crap.
I know who Neil Breen is.
Huh? Yeah, and you bring up Neil Breen. Businessmen, you politicians, you're all evil.
Yeah, we're gonna expose you of your injustice and your corruption.
How could you commit suicide? How could you do this? How?
I'm so glad you know. Wait, is this Iron Inquisitor or Slav?
This is Slav.
Okay, yeah, I'm glad that you know about Faithful Finding.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so Eyes Wide Shut's it's a really cool movie, and it explores that part of being in a relationship.
It's not gonna be Faithful Finding.
Or, well, not the orgy. You have to see how that plays into it. But anyway,
Yeah, it's
moving
not
on
gonna
from
be as
that.
good as Faithful Findings, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That movie is so strange, bro.
Actually, here, let me do this. I'm gonna find the best part of the movie. No, not the part you think. And I'm gonna send it to you, Jay. Or I'm gonna put it in the chat for Jay.
You talking about Faithful Findings?
No. Eyes Wide Shut.
Oh, okay.
Oh, of course, Titanic has that one famous song in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that song at the end where she I'm sorry if you haven't seen Titanic, fuck you, go see it. I'm gonna spoil it. Like you should have seen it by now. Anyway, at the end, like when she dies and she's essentially like in heaven, like she gets to see Jack again.
Yeah.
And I start crying. I one of those few movies I actually cried here. Like, it actually gets to me.
As long as you don't spoil A New Hope, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Even though this is a Star Wars stream, you can't spoil A New Hope. We haven't seen it yet, bro.
I have a friend who says that he does not like the movies of Star Wars, but he is one of the biggest EU fans I've ever seen. He says, I don't like the movies. He says, I don't like Luke Skywalker, but I love the EU. He says, I don't
like you either, dude.
He says, I don't watch Star Wars, I read it. And I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough. What's fair about that?
I'm like, he likes what he likes. Like, okay.
All right.
He's read all the EU and he's read all of the Disney stuff. And he's like all there, like.
And he says he doesn't like the movies, and you can. Oh, okay.
Well, he doesn't like the Disney stuff. He just listens to it because he's bored.
I think he's a little too bored.
Yeah, I know. That's what I say to him. I'm like, Cam, why do you do that, bro? And he's just like, got nothing better to do.
'Cause I'm a freaking weirdo.
He's like, I gotta make my deliveries. I got nothing better to do.
Yeah, that's an interesting not liking the movies.
I don't get it either.
Huh.
I
That's
hate
so
Star Wars, but I love its expanded universe.
yeah, that's so strange because like the two go hand in hand together.
So if you're gonna be planning to drive around,
Like, wouldn't you want to read the books and then rewatch the movies and get a whole different like context and stuff and viewpoint on it?
if you can avoid the
Maybe we're the
movies.
maybe we're the crazy Star Wars fans, guys.
No,
Like he
we're
likes
not.
the novelizations of the movies.
Shut up! 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 You see, now I'm completely lost.
You're saying there is some signs though that
Slob, you need some new friends, dude.
Cam is one of my best friends. That's where I get all my sources, like for the EU. That's how I get all my thumb drives and stuff.
You get all your sources from a guy who hates Star Wars? Okay.
He doesn't hate
He
it.
doesn't hate Star Wars.
Oh, he just said he hates the movies.
Well, yeah, he doesn't like the movies. But here's the thing about Cam too. He also has this very funny opinion. He's done this speech numerous times. He's like, so you have to rate Star Wars stories like Godzilla films. There's the good, there's the good, there's the bad, and then there's ass. He's like, there's that tier of storytelling in Star Wars. I'm like, okay.
That's interesting. Okay.
I'm curious to know what he thinks of the bad stuff, though. Probably mostly Disney stuff.
There's only a few good Disney novels I heard.
He said the Phasma one was actually really good, surprisingly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Was
And I've
really
heard-
what?
I've heard that from other people too.
Was bad?
Huh?
You said bad?
No, it was good. The
Oh,
Phasma
yeah.
novel.
I heard good things about the Phasma novel.
I like Fallen Order. I don't hate Fallen Order at all.
Jedi Fallen Order?
Yeah.
No, Jedi Fallen Order is a great game.
I think if you were to put Rebels and Fallen Order into the EU, other than the last four, hold up. If you were to take 4 episodes, like the final 4 and 3rd episodes of the show, you know, with Ahsoka and the whole like time travel thing, if you take those out, the show it can work.
It would retcon far less stuff in the EU than TCW did.
True.
Here's the thing: it would retcon Force Unleashed, and I'm okay with that because I don't like Force Unleashed.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, the two could coexist together.
I actually thought about that.
Thing, the only thing I say that they couldn't is because Mon Mothma gets outed in the Force Unleashed, and she outs herself also in Rebels. Like she comes out of the closet, she's gay.
Yeah.
No, but she makes it out to be as though she's a part of the rebellion in both of them. So that's the only thing conflicting I think you could probably have, other than the Ahsoka surviving part.
I explain why you're not a huge fan of Force Unleashed, because I can actually understand why people don't like it.
So here's the thing. I like playing the first game. I'm not talking about the novels. I'm not talking about the comic adaptations. We're just going to talk about the game.
Mhm.
So the game, I like. I think it's fun.
Mhm.
The problem is that it's not well designed in the sense of your combo systems.
Oh,
Your combos are
okay.
because like the most effective thing to do in that game is to force push somebody down and then run up to them and stab them on the ground. That's what takes the most health out of anything. And not to mention the game is broken because you can electrocute something and it can just basically stun for like a good 5 to 7 seconds and you can just wail on it. And I don't think most things have much of a defense to that. I mean, yeah, some force users can block it, but like, okay, then I can just force push you. So that's kind of a nitpick, but if we're gonna talk about story, I don't think, at least in the PS3 version of the game, because I need to go back and play the PS2 version because both games are completely different. The PS2 one's a lot longer and there's a lot more missions because in the PS2 version, you go to the Jedi Temple like 3 times.
oh,
Yeah, the PS2, Wii, and PSP versions are all the same.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know why they did that. It was a really interesting thing they did. And Hayden Blackman was in charge of all that. Hayden Blackman's cool. He actually wrote Star Wars Bounty Hunter and the Jango Fett open season stuff. Blackman's cool in my book.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So with Starkiller's character. I'm like, why are you a good guy all of a sudden? Because you're basically just doing what Vader told you to do. I don't know why you sympathize with these people. You've raised your whole life to do what Vader's wanted, and plus, he betrayed you, and that, like, I think the game implies that's one of the reasons where Starkiller stops, wanting to, be his apprentice. But it's like he salvaged your body and he saved your life. Like, there's a reason why he did that. He implicitly says that to you. Another thing comes in when he, the other part of where you can see his character arc turn, what's supposed to happen, is when he's on Felucia, and he is about to go into the Sarlacc pit.
Come up the Shaq piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not the Shock. It's the second one. It's the second part.
Oh, second.
Oh, where he fights Maris Brood.
Yeah. So he basically says to Juno, he's like, I feel its pain. I can feel it hurting, and I'm like, well, dude, throughout this whole game, you've been like icing people left and right. Did you not feel their pain then? Like, are you? And Juno's like, oh, I'm so sad. I'm so like, you should really do something. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, why do you care what she thinks? Yeah, she's pretty, but you've only had 1 or 2 scenes with her. Maybe 1 scene alone, but that's like up until that point. I'm not talking about for the whole game. I'm just saying up until that point, you've had like almost no personal interaction with this person.
Man, they did a lot of stuff off screen, man.
Maybe. All I'm saying is you just like her because she's a piece of pussy. That's why you like her. She has her Imperial uniform open up, and she's wearing a fucking top where you can see the top of her titties. That's the only reason you like her. Like, I don't think Starkiller's ever seen a girl before, because he betrays the Empire for her.
No, it's because she has a beautiful personality. She has a beautiful.
And one can say, like, okay, well, he betrayed the Empire because they were going to kill her. And I'm like, yeah, but there's been like 7 pilots that Vader's killed personally. And Starkiller didn't care then.
Well, no. No, she has a beautiful pair instead of 2 big personalities, okay?
Hey, man, I would betray the Empire for her 2 big personalities, too. But, like, I'd be honest about it. I wouldn't be because, I support the rebellion. It's just because, she wants me to. Okay, cool. I get good bad head.
You'll be Simp Killer?
Yeah, I'll be Simp Killer. And then Force Unleashed 2 comes around. Okay, first of all, gameplay's bad even there. Because, like, I can say with the first game that it's fun. Because I do have fun with that first game.
Oh, same.
Yeah, now, 2, I didn't have any fun with. Because I recently replayed it. And I'm having, like, good... Like, the story's okay up until the mid part. Where... Oh, God, I forgot. Oh, yes, that was it. Okay, I remember now. It was with Boba Fett. Vader's like, yo, Boba... I want you to go find Starkiller, and I want you to get his girlfriend, because he's a simp, essentially. And if we have the girl, we can control him, and he can do whatever I want. And Boba's like, gotcha, boss. So I'm like, why did you bring Juno back? Because he lured him back because they wanted to destroy the rebels, too. Because he knew that they were going to bring the rebels, because he says, oh, the entire Imperial fleet's here. Oh, crap. Right? Because you're going down on Kamino, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm sitting here like, why did you put the Topeka City in jeopardy when doing that? You could have just had Boba Fett do what he did in Empire. Track somebody. So Boba Fett could have just been like, oh, yeah, they're over here.
Hey, man, Starkiller's not as smart as Boba.
Yeah. But you could just grab Juno, bring her over to the Imperial fleet, or bring her over to and then have them destroy the Rebel fleet in space. Like, yeah, you got to worry about Starkiller, but I don't know, just shoot the ship he's on. Like, that's the thing, is that, like, why did you have to destroy all of Topeka City, everything in Vader's entire operation for cloning Starkiller, in jeopardy like that? So those are mainly my problems with the Force Unleashed. Not to mention also now Starkiller's going after Juno again. He has all the previous memories of Starkiller, but the thing is, it's like, okay, you yourself as the physical being, you technically are a different person than Starkiller because you're experiencing different experiences. It's like a whole philosophical debate going into that. But anyway, you've not physically met this woman. You personally have not met this woman, and now you're gonna let Coda die on because like numerous times he says like in the game, yeah, Coda, I'm not gonna help you. I'm sorry, you and your men are dying. I'm gonna go save this piece of pussy.
Hey,
You
man,
know what I mean?
He just wants some ass, man.
He does. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I respect that, but just be upfront about it. Like, and at least in the second one, he was a little bit more upfront about that. He's like, I don't care about your rebellion. I don't care about it at all. I just want Juno. But that's my story problems with the Force Unleashed. That's why I don't really like them. That's why I'm okay if Rebels retcons it in the EU. Yes, Lance, deal with it.
You know, the main reason why the Force Unleashed isn't like among my favorite things from the EU is just the polarization around his character. When people go, "Whoa, he's overpowered, man."
Well, I know in the novels he's not overpowered. I never made that argument.
it's just, and most of the Star Wars fandom doesn't know that.
Yeah. Now that's the thing. That's why I said I emphasized up front. I've not read the novels. I was only talking about the games because I'm sure the novels are maybe a little bit different. But even Matt Wilkins said he doesn't really have a character in the novels. He's just a weapon, and I'm like, oh well. Even if the novels have that problem too, then you know, yeah.
Gary Stu question mark?
But yeah, Force Unleashed 1, always fun to play, and I'm actually going to play the PS2 version here soon. I may have different thoughts on the PS2 version.
You know, that was the version I first played.
Same
I got it
here.
as a gift.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You guys watch any of the MCU stuff?
The what?
MCU stuff, like
The newer stuff.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Man, I am so far behind on all that stuff.
I stopped after Endgame.
Okay. Cause She-Hulk, man.
Is it bad? I've heard it's pretty bad.
Remember what I said, Lance? It's bordering mid and ass.
Oh, Starkiller will love it then.
Oh, no, like, listen, She-Hulk is ass in the literal sense of twerking and in storytelling.
Okay.
Right.
Oh yeah, people were sharing a gif of the twerking scene like everywhere on Twitter.
See, as a young man, I didn't give a fuck about that scene. That's all I'm gonna say. As a young man, I didn't care. But and most of the people complaining about it probably never read a She-Hulk comic, so I don't give a fuck.
You mean geeks and gamers?
Oh, shut up.
Yeah.
You don't like Jeremy going up there and saying that it's woke?
I can't stand geeks and gamers and Ryan Kendall. No, not the biggest fan.
Oh man, my boy. You mean my boy Ryan? My boy Ryan.
Are
What you
being
got against
sarcastic?
Ryan? He's great.
Are you being? Yeah, you're being sarcastic.
Okay, yeah, I'm being sarcastic.
Man, there was a time, you know, I had a little bit of respect for Ryan, but now it's just all gone.
Nah, he's probably a cool guy, but I just can't stand his content. It really gets on my nerves, man.
He turned into one of the Comicsgate grifters, and I'm
Yeah.
telling you, it's like that. You're just doing this for money.
Yeah,
It's clear you
Exactly.
are.
Like I remember
Oscar
when, you know, Ryan used to do EU videos, but then he just did his stupid politics.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. I'm pretty right leaning too, but that's pretty bad if you're even annoying the shit out of me. You know what I mean? Like, like that's pretty bad.
See, you agree with his politics. It's not even his I could do people, you know, with different politics than me. It's just the fact that he's just like, oh God, I can't even describe it.
Like
He's
how
so
many?
close-
And here's the thing
He's
too.
very
I'm sure-
close-minded.
Here's the thing too. If I sat down with maybe Ryan or Jeremy, and I had a beer with them, I'm sure they would be nice guys. I'm sure a lot of it they're just putting up for the camera. I'm sure that's what a lot of that is.
Yeah, because I've actually talked to Ryan before. I was on with him and Matt in like 2020.
Were you? I know Matt's been talking with him.
Yeah.
But
That's the only time I can watch him.
Here's the thing. I could be wrong though. Maybe he's a piece of shit. I don't know. Some of the stuff he said has come off as very. I don't want to say the word because what's his name? Lance here may get in trouble on YouTube for it.
What's the word?
Wait, what's the word?
The race
Racist?
word. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fine. I know that does some stuff to you in the algorithm, so I didn't want to say it, but
Racist.
okay. All right.
I'm not gonna lie. I think he comes off as racist. Well, with his content, but that's just me. That's just my opinion.
You said you think he comes off as that?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He does. He does come off as it.
Okay. So
And-
I'm not the only one. Okay.
No.
And how
no.
many Brie Larson videos has Jeremy done?
Jeremy. I think they all like
Which Jeremy?
from
The Geeks and Gamers Jeremy.
I know. I think there's the quartering who's Jeremy too. I was making.
Yeah. I feel like he has a crush. He wants feet pics from Brie Larson or something.
I do too.
I do.
That'd be it though. That'd just be the feet pics.
What's up,
Yeah.
guys?
Hey.
What up, Marcel?
I was like, I came home and I was like, holy
And
shit,
Marcel.
this is still going. That's great.
Yeah.
What's up, Ryan?
Yeah, we were talking about Ryan Kendall and Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, you know what? Hey, that looks really good, Lance. You're like, what, 85% done? You've got the head to
Just
go.
I'm giving it a head.
Yeah. You're getting ahead of yourself. Ryan Kendall of Geeks and Gamers. I haven't watched Civilized Age yet, but I guess that was streamed privately or something like that.
Maybe.
It looks like I didn't know that it was going on until it just dropped today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying, am I the only one that thinks that their content comes off as a little racist? But I'm not the only one, I think.
I don't know, man. It's a tough question to ask a white person like me if something comes out as racist because I'm not always alive to that kind of thing, and I really admit that I need to do better. But I wouldn't be surprised if
It's just like I'm so tired. Like the word woke is just used so much. It's like every time they see a black person in media, they just say woke. I'm like, come on.
I'll say this, where I think maybe where me and Ryan would agree is that I think it's very racist and disrespectful to blackwash a character, because I wouldn't want to whitewash a black character as well. I'll agree there, but I don't think he says it in the right way.
No,
he doesn't say that. It doesn't come off the right way when he says it.
the thing about the race of a character, for example, you could like if the character let's say if a character was previously white, right?
Yeah.
But his race had nothing to do about his character and played nothing into his worldview or his points. Right. Then you get a person of color to play him that's a really good actor. I don't have a problem with that. But if you get a character like Black Panther and you have him as a white guy, that's a big issue.
That is a big issue.
Yeah.
And I know I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Well, even I would still say that's because let's say, for example, you're making the it was not the Northman, it was the Green Knight. You're making the Green Knight,
right?
That was based, if I'm not mistaken, in Northern European mythology. That's where that story came from, and they cast someone who is, I believe, of Latin descent in that role as the main character, as the Green Knight, or not as the Green Knight, as the main character. Anyway, I would say yes. Technically, Latinos still fall into white, at least depending on which demographics data you look at, they fall into as white. But here's the thing: that's part of that culture of the Anglo-Saxon culture there, and I don't think I think that's a double standard if you were to say something like a story that came, let's say, from South Africa. Is that where the black majority is in Africa? Is it the south or is it the middle?
You're talking about where a lot of white people reside in Africa?
Where the black people specifically reside in Africa?
Where what?
The black people. Where they specifically preside in Africa? Anyway, it doesn't matter. All I'm trying to say is that you get a story come from there, and they automatically whitewashed it. That would be pretty disrespectful, and I think that was disrespectful what they did in The Green Knight as well. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but it's easier to get away with when it's against a white culture, right? So,
of course, that's the thing.
Yeah.
My thing about it is, I don't think you should do either one, but I feel like whitewashing is more egregious than the former because, well, you're already getting a
culture.
Say that again.
It's because it's been done a lot more in our culture.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that it has a lot to do with the marginalization of minority groups throughout Hollywood.
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
You do have a point.
But no, I can understand why a white person would think that that's just on the same level because it's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Jay. The conversation you and me just had was we disagree. I think maybe a little bit, but here's the thing. Ryan does not communicate that nuance in his videos.
No,
we just had, and he just says, if he sees a black character in a movie, and he doesn't really elaborate on it, and he gets upset with it, it's a little bit weird.
It comes off as really strange, though.
It does.
It makes me I wouldn't say uncomfortable, but it's just like, what the fuck?
Yes.
I don't watch Ryan's content, so I don't know this for certain. But Alex has told me that he is reviewing House of the Dragon, and he's being fairly favorable towards it.
That's surprising.
And House of the Dragon has I think his name's like Valerian. I forget his first name.
Yeah, Corlys Valerian.
Corlys Valerian, and he's I guess he's like from old Valyria, but he's black, right? And,
yeah, he's dark skinned.
Yeah, and I think if you're going by sort of what the lore implies, he wouldn't be, right? He wouldn't be skin. He would be like a white.
Oh, okay.
But I guess that doesn't seem to bother him. So,
okay.
I don't know.
So he's okay. So he's mad about it in the Batman movie, for instance, when they do that to Catwoman and Gordon.
His Batman review is so fucking
But he's
weird.
not mad when they do it in House of the Dragons. Okay.
Yeah, and I just like to know like the difference for him, I guess, right? Like what's the difference?
Maybe he's listening to criticism. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to think that's maybe the case.
Like, I don't know if he knows this, but Catwoman has always been played as by black women.
Yeah, what's her name? Eartha Kitt played her in the 60 series.
That's right. Yeah.
Even in the comics, and she was voice acted by Zoe Kravitz. You had Halle Berry playing Catwoman.
Yeah.
Like, Catwoman being played by a black woman is nothing like, oh my god.
That's right.
He acted like it was a new thing, and it really.
Yeah, I'm like,
It's like, has he not seen any past stuff related to Batman?
yeah, like I'm a huge fan of Catwoman as a character, so there was a really good portrayal of Catwoman, even if she was like white in other portrayals, and she was black in this. I wouldn't care because he played that so good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she did.
And also I thought she was fine as hell, so that might be some bias there. But yeah.
She was half Italian in the comics.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because she's the daughter of Carmine Falcone.
Yeah,
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, the guy who played Carmine Falcone in the new Batman movie, I liked his performance.
Yeah, John Turturro's a fantastic actor.
He's great.
You made me do this. You made me do this.
No, I think his line delivery and his like the way he's so chill about the disgusting things he do is just it's perfect in that role.
And he's willing to spin the truth as well. He didn't tell Bruce about what it's like.
That's one thing I didn't like about certain reviews for the Batman, because people did not talk about him as much. I was like, he was amazing in that.
Yeah. I guess because they kind of expect it from him, right? Like he's in all those Coen Brother films, and he's always like, killing in every scene that he's in. So
yeah. I'm used. I'm more. You see, my experience from John Turturro is in the Transformer movies.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh,
Oof.
That's my experience with John Turturro.
Yeah.
Takes a time out from the plot to grab a jockstrap.
I mean, he's in one of the greatest movies ever made, The Big Lebowski, but he also plays like a pedophile in that movie. So.
Oh
yeah,
no!
At the bowling alley, right?
Name Jesus. No,
Yes.
not like Jesus. Yeah.
Hey, Marcel. What's your favorite Coen Brothers movie?
Yeah. What's up?
What's your favorite Coen Brothers movie?
Well, okay, The Big Lebowski, but that's like if you want something, Fargo.
Fargo. Okay.
Yeah. Although I have a soft spot in my heart for Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw that movie in a film class back in 2016.
Yeah, I've heard it's really good. They explore folk music in that, right?
That's right. And
Yep.
they have these actors that they cast in all their movies, right? Like you see Steve Buscemi in a bunch of their movies. You see John Goodman in a bunch of their movies, and he's just so good in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Quentin Tarantino does the same thing, right? Like he casts like the same people in his films.
Oh yeah.
When I think of folk music, I think of Bob Dylan, right?
Yeah, he would be the guy.
If you like Bob Dylan and stuff like that, you should watch my personal favorite of their movies, which isn't talked about, I don't think, as much as it should be, is Inside Llewyn Davis.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
That's a great movie.
What is it called?
Learn about the roots of folk and how depression plays into that, and into that genre. Really, that movie explores that. It's super cool. Plus, Oscar Isaac's in it. Poe Dameron.
Really?
Yes, he plays the main character.
Oscar Isaac was great in the sequels. Honestly, I think he did good.
He is just acting in circles around them in those movies. Like he's clearly the better actor.
Yeah. You can tell.
Really well casted. It's like, and he was great before Star Wars. Like he was in Ex Machina. He was in Sucker Punch. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you could tell Adam Driver and Oscar Isaac is like the most talented in the new cast.
Yeah.
I think Ex Machina was my first Oscar Isaac movie, and I was like, this guy can act. And then I saw it, and I was like, okay, yeah, for sure. But there was the jokes that he made at like the beginning of The Force Awakens and the beginning of The Last Jedi. And The Last Jedi was like a mama joke, and it didn't land well with me. It was really awkward. But the Force Awakens one, when like Kylo Ren's like, he's above him and stuff like that, and Poe Dameron's like, who talks first? Do I talk first? You talk first?
Yeah.
And I almost, like, some people like cringed at that. I thought that was really funny. I was like,
me too.
Yeah, I really like that scene. So
That's
yeah,
cool.
but him the Yo Mama joke on General Hux though.
That was just awkward.
Very.
I would have liked Hux to have been a more prominent villain in those movies if
Hux
they were
is
going to continue it.
Hux is a goddamn clown, bro.
Well, he was in the later ones, but if you watch Force Awakens, he wasn't.
No, Force Awakens.
Like,
I still quote his speech to this day of that Nazi ass speech he was giving.
Yeah, he was so.
I hear a lot of people they like to call him Ginger Hitler.
Ginger Hitler.
Ginger Hitler.
Which, by the way, that same actor who played Hux was also in Ex Machina.
That's right. He was an Ex Machina, so that guy can act too. Domhnall Gleeson.
Yeah,
he was in an episode of Black Mirror, and I challenge you to watch it because it's one of the most one of the hardest episodes to watch. Because I'll just give you like the basic premise is that he dies in a car crash, and Black Mirror is like it's like the near future, and they talk about like the limits of technology and stuff like that. So like his wife gets a replacement of him, but he's basically like an android.
Oh,
and it's just like the dynamic of that, and he just kills it. And
oh man, that sounds cool.
Yeah, and it's like an episode. It's like 45 minutes, and you can probably watch it on like Netflix or whatever. But he's such a good actor, and just like went to like John Boyega too. I thought like went to waste in the sequel trilogy.
I haven't watched all of Black Mirror. I've only seen the Christmas special. It was the one with John Hamm.
That's such a good one too. So
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yo, Lance, that's looking good, man.
Yeah, it's looking pretty nice.
Oh, wait, ignore that I said that. I gave him a head.
You know what's funny, Lance, is that I like built like a IKEA thing once, like a shelf, and I realized like right at the end that I like effed up something really big, and I had to dismantle the entire thing. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to you.
I'm good here.
Yeah, no, it looks complete.
Every time I look at a Lego set, I get PTSD of my mom breaking my Lego set, my pirate Lego set.
Oh no!
What did you do to deserve that, Jay? It sounds like something you did.
All right, so it was it was a big Jehovah's Witness convention we had to go to, right? And we were rushing, and I wanted to bring my Legos, and I was struggling to take my Legos out, and I was taking too long. So she was like, "Hurry up!" And I was like, "Wait, hold on!" And she just like punched a big ass like into the middle of the ship, and I was like, "Damn!"
Wow.
Oh my!
I was like, "Wow."
Uh,
That broke my morale.
wow.
Oh man, my mom's never done anything that cruel.
I was gonna say, what are parents good for, except for racking up your therapy bills later on in life, right?
I know, right? Yeah, I got Lego PTSD. And then I've seen too many videos on social media of them for like dropping Lego Millennium Falcons, and
Doesn't,
I
like-
can't take it.
I have like a heart attack when I see that stuff.
It's like nails on a chalkboard.
Yeah,
So
very
cringe.
much.
Oof.
Yeah,
Like,
me
y'all
too.
remember? Y'all ever seen that video of Harrison Ford dropping that Lego Millennium Falcon?
Yes. And here's the
can't
thing.
stand that, bro.
I don't think they planned that.
No,
Because
I-
if you see the dude's face afterward,
Oh,
he is.
I
He is.
thought- I thought that-
Wow.
I think
I thought it
Harrison
was
just did that
planned.
to make him mad. Because what are you gonna do? It's Harrison Ford. Like, are you like you can't get mad at Harrison Ford. But like, and he's jacked, and he's like 72, and he's built better than me.
Yeah. Like less than half his age, and he's still better than all of us.
I know
Mm-hmm.
He's such a Chad.
he is.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you looking forward to the new Han Solo movie?" No, not really.
But he was so nice and respectful to praise I forgot the guy's name who played Han Solo. His performance.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah, I think he gave off a really good performance.
Oh, you should have seen the guy that auditioned for the role.
Oh,
There was a guy who I thought was a lot better, and the internet agrees with me. I'll put it in the video link in chat. Hold on, and I mean I'll actually do it this time because you got to see it, Jay. It's actually really good.
Are you talking about Ian Ingruber?
That may be him.
Yeah, I think I've seen that, and you're right. He looked like him too.
Yeah. Audition. Let's see.
I should have played Han Solo.
You should have played. Yeah, I thought they really nailed Chewbacca in that one. So
Jay, if you played Han Solo, that would piss off Ryan Kendall.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Or like oddly, he'd be okay with it. It would be like one of those like weird double standards.
I know, right?
What did you guys
Like-
think of the guy that got for Lando?
Oh,
Childish? Here's a hot take. I thought he did good.
same.
Well, I really liked him too.
I did. And I should preface this by saying I love him in Community. Troy Barnes is like one of my favorite characters. But I didn't see it. Other people have said like, yeah, he sounded like Lando. He felt like Lando to me. I did not see it at all. I'm sorry.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I
Okay
love
to be wrong.
things though. So I like it was a very high standard to me.
Oh, okay.
I wonder what Matt would think about it.
Yeah,
Isn't that the first time they showed Han and Chewie meeting? Because I know George said don't ever touch that in the EU.
Oh, whoa.
yeah, that's right. They don't.
Mhm.
Huh. I remember like finding out about like Han and Chewie and like how they came together, like on the back of a Power of the Force like Kenner Star Wars action figure toy for Chewbacca. But they used to have like little blurbs of all the characters and like what their backstories were.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll accept that as canon.
Yeah. I mean, it very well probably was at the time, right? So 'cause they probably got it from all the West End Games material.
Oh yeah. Hey, Jay. Jay, you there? Yeah, I put the link to that dude's his audition tape in the chat. Go look at it for a second. Just listen to him for like a few seconds and tell me that's not a young Han Solo.
The thing is, I'm using my phone to talk to you. So.
Oh, okay.
I
Watching-
finished.
Hey, nice.
That is beautiful.
That's awesome. We did it, boys.
We did
Did
it.
it.
You saved the city.
We
did it.
saved it. We saved the EU.
We did it. We did it.
Is that like Dora the Explorer, man?
Yes.
Can I tell you, there was this kid in my class who was talking about Diego, right? And he was talking about Diego's sister and how fine she was. And I was like, bro, do you know how old that character is? Like, and he looked it up and she was like, what, like 11 years old? And we were looking like, everyone in the class were looking at him like, what the
I don't know.
Oh no.
It's like my daughter's favorite show, and I don't think that's appropriate for any.
Yeah, exactly. For a high school kid saying, yeah, she's fine as fuck. I'm like, bro, what?
Bro just didn't show up to class the next day or something.
No, he still showed up.
Oh, okay.
It's only certain people who are like cool and popular enough to pull that off. You can't be a weird ass kid and pull that off.
Yeah, you gotta have because people gotta know you're joking.
Yeah.
You
If
can't
you're a
just be that-
weirdo, people don't know you.
Yeah. If you're that quiet kid that says that, everyone's gonna be concerned. But
Everybody's gonna be like, okay, don't say anything because he may shoot up the school.
Yeah. Jeez.
funny thing is, my school just got a threat today. Somebody sent a screenshot saying that they were threatening to kill 15 people.
Oh God.
Oh
Except
no.
they said that they were gonna spare the special ed kids. I kid you not. I kid you not. They said that.
Man, I don't know.
Man, you know, Veers
Yeah.
is in there, and his pilots are in there too.
Nice.
And it doesn't fit. I gotta make a mistake. He was
That's
standing
chat
in the
for
movie.
special ed kids.
They fit in the movie.
Okay, whatever. He can just walk around.
That
I
love.
remember as a kid, you know how the Lego set would show like in the background that they would be on that certain planet. I always expected the planet to come with the Lego set.
He must have felt so ripped off, man. He like going viral.
Man, I thought I was getting Hoth for Christmas.
I was like, "Where's Geonosis? Where's Mandalore?" Like,
This is bullshit.
I'm gonna give it 1 star.
Yeah, I can swear on Lance stream now that he's 18. I'm just kidding. I'm not.
Wait, what did you say, Marcel?
I can swear on Lance's stream now that he's 18.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kidding, though.
Did you get that adult Happy Meal?
Yeah.
Well, guys, y'all finish this conversation because now that I'm done building this, my mom wants me to eat now.
Wait, what did you
So-
say?
He says he's about to pack up and leave. We got to finish the conversation. Actually, I got to eat here soon. I got a burger waiting on me.
Man, I think my grandma's working on foods.
Marcel, Jay, Iron, and Lance. It's good seeing y'all.
All right, it's been fun, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
everybody.
All right,
Good
see you,
job.
Marcel. See you, Slav, and
Good night.
Iron Inquisitor. See you, Lance.
Oh shoot! I'm over here destroying this book.
Beautiful. See you.
All right, y'all have a great night.
All right.